I'll give you the two-team lineups in just a second. Lucas Bergvall is the Tottenham player with the light blonde hair who plays the first pass of the game from kick-off back to his goalkeeper, Guillermo Vicario, all in bright purple away to our right, and Pedro Porro floats a pass down the right wing here for Kudus to chase. Dunk's got it covered, passes back to his keeper Verbruggen. He's in bright orange away to our left, clears up towards the halfway line. Porro heads it forward, Bergvall knocks it over his shoulder. Kudus tries to turn and control the ball here under pressure, does really well, good strength, wasn't easy to bring that down, gets the cross in, Dunk volleys it away, Matoma chests it down, passes back to the corner of the penalty area, and Brighton try and come on the counter. Rutter couldn't control it, it is out for a throw. Good afternoon, Michael Brown.
Yeah, good start to the game, really quick phase from Spurs, trying to go in behind. Kudus was trying to create, trying to push and use his strength, and now they move the ball side to side, the quick press. I think that's different there, just wasn't on a bird on the same wavelength, going in behind. Thomas Frank will be certainly looking for set pieces, he's not afraid to go short or long.
You spotted the sponsorship on the manager's seat in the dugout here, didn't you, Michael, ahead of the game? It says Football Manager behind Fabian Hürzeler, just to prove the point.
Yeah, just in case you forgot.
Just in case you hadn't realised.
I was wondering what was going on there.
Van Hecke, pacey, zippy pass down the right-hand side is controlled by Joel Veltman, keeping an eye on the video printer all the time this afternoon. Wolves leads, big game in the Premier League, full commentary of that one over on Sports Extra 2, and at 5:30 we're going to bring you commentary here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds of Manchester United against Chelsea. Change at left back for Brighton today. De Kuyper is injured, so Ferdi Kadioglu, the Turkish international, gets a first start of the season. 4 changes for Brighton. Kadioglu in, Baleba and Ayari come into the midfield for James Milner, who's on the bench, and Jack Henchwood, who's injured. And change up top, we mentioned it before the game, Jorginho Rutter ostensibly playing as the centre forward, with Brian Gruder, the 21-year-old German, coming into the team for Danny Welbeck. Tottenham 3 changes today. Udogie in at left back for Jed Spence. Palhinha comes into the midfield for Pap Sarr, who's on the bench, and Wilson Odobert gets a first start of the season in place of Xavi Simons, who is also named amongst the Tottenham substitutes. Porro's ball downfield is heavily deflected, and it goes out for a throw-in to Brighton inside their own half on the left. First goal of the afternoon in the 3 o'clock kickoffs comes in League 2, and Newport lead Gillingham 1-0. Gillingham unbeaten so far this season under Gareth Ainsworth, unbeaten under Gareth Ainsworth, full stop. 5 wins and 3 draws, they're behind early on away at Newport. There's Odobert into Richarlison. First time layoff looking for Udogie. Udogie chases this ball down to the byline. Goal at Turf Moor, Julia Bold.
It's Burnley 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Nico Williams with the goal, and it's after Burnley failed to deal with Lewis Douglas's corner, and Nico Williams got on the end of it. Burnley 0, Forest 1.
Trickery from Mohamed Kudus for Tottenham, down on the dead ball line. Cross from Porro into the far post, and the defending is done at the back post by Baleba, who came flying in, stuck a left leg out and booted it behind for a corner. So Forest 1 up at Burnley, and a lively start here at Brighton. Tottenham have won their first corner of the game. Some interesting team changes for Tottenham. Odobert in for Simons today, Michael Brown.
That's a huge call, isn't it? Palhinha, you do see that one, him coming back at the base of that midfield, but how nice for the manager to be able to have these choices. Udogie coming in as well, and Jed Spence, who's done very, very well. Spurs have started excellent in this game, great energy, great momentum. Now a set piece, you know, something that this manager works so hard on.
Tottenham away from home in the league this season, 2-0 winners at Manchester City, 3-0 winners at West Ham. 4 minutes in, early corner, Porro's about to take it, and our referee Christopher Kavanagh has spotted something he doesn't like.
Bergvall went round the back of the goal to try and get to the front post.
Quite literally thinking outside the box. Corner for Porro from the left, in it comes, edge of the 6-yard box, header away, good clearance, deep. Odobert controls, plays it across here to Udogie, and Udogie can only go back to his goalkeeper Vicario. Vicario under pressure, clears with his right foot away to the right, And Kudus' challenge, it goes out for a Tottenham throw. Another goal in League Two at our featured game. David Beckham is there at Salford, so's Mark Webber.
And he was standing up applauding this one because it's Salford 1, Swindon 0. George Grant 25 yards out, absolute belter in the air and into the bottom hand of the net. In fact, Beckham, I think, is a bit worried. He might not stand for this. 1-0.
4 minutes gone in the first half here at the Amex Stadium. I see Stevenage, good home form this season. They lead Exeter 1-0 early on in League One. Tottenham eventually take their throw. Richarlison nips into a pocket of space, lofts the ball up in the air. Bouncing ball, he crosses high to the far post. It clears Audebert. Audebert comes running away, back to goal. Midway inside the Brighton half. Tottenham are all in black with white numbers, white trim on the shirts. Brighton in the blue and white stripes. And here's Udogie, dummies the cross. Down with the dead ball line, crosses in, and that's cleared behind and away, and goes out in fact in the end for a throw to Tottenham on the left, but they got him well there.
Oh, it's brilliant little play, runs with intent. This little triangle, Udogie gets in down the line, good pass inside, and then he goes to play it early. I'm sure if it was Yari come over across to try and stop it, but then good cover in Bergvall trying to get into the near post, almost got the opener. Spurs.
Warm welcome across the globe to our listeners on the BBC World Service. Thank you as ever for joining us on a Saturday afternoon. It is Brighton 0, Tottenham 0 under grey skies on the south coast of England. Bergvall's throw was meant to be a long one. It didn't get that far. It's cleared back to Bergvall, the young Swede. His cross is blocked. Bergvall gets another go. Audebert lets the pass run across him, plays it back to the halfway line. Here's Udogie. Udogie is chased by Ruter. Lays it off to his goalkeeper Vicario. Vicario's got time and goes high and long down the inside right channel. There's a foul there by Kudus on the left back, Kadioglu. It's been a conversation point all season, Michael Brown, not just in the Premier League but across the board. The sort of propensity for the teams to go a bit longer this season. You know, not just the long throws and the set pieces, but going longer from the back.
Honestly, it was a very, very soft foul. Back to front, quickly being diagonal, and putting teams under pressure. On the start has been excellent from Spurs.
Tottenham look on it. It's been a good week for them. 3-0 winners at West Ham last Saturday. Beat Villarreal in the Champions League. Fabian Hürzeler, in various shades of casual grey, comes striding back to his seat in the dugout. Audebert takes on Minte, who's been one of Brighton's best performers so far this season. Minte wins the duel. Here's Gruder, little dribble inside his own half, forward to Ruter. Clever release pass from Ruter, sends Minte away. Minte, clean through, one-on-one, round the keeper, and sticks it home for Brighton. 5 minutes into the game, Yankuba Minte gets his first goal of the season. Tottenham undone from the halfway line. The pass was perfect, the finish was cool. Brighton 1, Tottenham 0.
Well, you talk about counter-attacks, you look, the momentum isn't going your way, but it's Minter initially who won the ball back. He pressed really strong, but he didn't stop, he waited. Udogie just gets done inside. Then he's got such a long way to travel as he progresses into the Spurs half, but his touches are good, they're little, they're often, and he's waiting under pressure. Goalkeeper comes, he's very, very calm. He doesn't just slot it with that left foot across the goalkeeper. There's a late check, sits the goalkeeper down, then has time to have a look, and he just pokes it in with the outside of his foot. Sensational finish. This one is really, really tight though.
Yeah, and the decision they're looking at, the offside call, is right on the halfway line as the pass is released from Ruter to Minte. Let's have a look. It's good. Fourth official, I can see him nodding at both benches. Neil Davis nodding his head and saying, well, he's saying it's good. Did he mean the goal is good, or hang on? That's what we're doing. We're checking the goal. Up on the screen at the moment, checking goal, possible offside. Thomas Frank is waiting for an answer as well. There's the answer. Brighton fans roar. The goal stands. Minte is onside, and they lead Tottenham 1-0. They did the double over Tottenham last season, beat them here the season before that. They are off to a flyer today. And we're back underway. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Vicario, Tottenham's keeper, launches one to the left. Richarlison and Veltman wrestling for the ball. It clears both of them and goes out for a throw into Brighton in the right back position.
How can they get caught like that? It was quick, it was slick from Brighton, but as a Spurs point of view, Van der Ven's having a look and saying, right, how does it get inside? But Udogie's stepping forward, right on the halfway line. It was tight, and just again, Spurs asked questions and they didn't need to be.
Here come Brighton again. Gruder is taking Van de Ven on, trying to take Van de Ven on for pace and not doing a bad job of it either. Van de Ven just had to lean into Gruder to knock him off the ball. It's not given as a foul. Throwing to Tottenham in the left-back position. Goal in League Two, Walsall lead Tranmere 1-0. Evan Weir has scored the goal. So Brighton 1, Tottenham 0 here. Nottingham Forest are 1-0 up away to Burnley. Early goal from Nico Williams. Veltman heads the ball forward, volleyed up in the air by Palhinha. Van Hecke sticks a right boot on it. Minte just launches it high over his shoulder. Romero heads it away from the edge of the Tottenham box. Belieber tries to bring it down, didn't have enough time to do so. Richarlison chests one down. Here's Kudus again, surrounded by blue and white striped shirts. They've taken the ball off him, and Ruter manages to get the ball to Kadioglu, who plays it back to Lewis Dunk. Brighton 1, Tottenham 0. 10 minutes of the game have gone so far. Longer ball from Van Hecke from the back. Romero chests it down inside the Tottenham half. It runs to his left to Udogie. Udogie passes forward to Richarlison. Great touch and turn to hold off Van Hecke. He's got Odegaard away down the left-hand side. Odegaard outside of the right foot. That is too close to Verbruggen, who crouches down and clutches the ball at the near post. Goal at Molineux, Pat Murphy.
And it's gone to Wolves, and the first goal for their summer signing, Ladislav Krejci. He was unmarked, through ball came to him, judged it perfectly with his left foot, lobbed it over Darlow. They deserve this. They had most of the territory. Wolves 1, Leeds 0.
So Wolves 1 up on Leeds, Brighton 1 up on Tottenham here, Nottingham Forest 1 up away to Burnley, West Ham Palace the other 3 o'clock kickoff in the Premier League is goalless so far. So Brighton quite often, Michael, create the chances, don't stick them away. That was absolutely clinical, wasn't it, to take the lead in this game?
Yeah, really good. It's been a fascinating game, quick energy. We've been spoilt to call this the quickest goal service on a Saturday afternoon. I think this is the quickest and the most goals we've ever seen in quick succession.
You're wondering, aren't you, whether a certain commentator might be listening this afternoon. Here's Kadioglu driving forward for Brighton just inside the Tottenham half, plays it behind Mitoma. It slows the move down slightly. Japanese international side foots a pass to Ruter. They try and exchange a quick 1-2. Lots of bodies in there. Birkval looking to make the tackle. Brighton get it back to the halfway line. Goal at Portsmouth now in the Championship. Sohail Sahi.
It's gone the way of the stricken Sheffield Wednesday. Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Barry Bannon with a wicked free kick, 20 yards out, absolutely top class. Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Brighton leading Tottenham 1-0. Cross comes into the Tottenham area, that's blocked. It goes behind for a corner. In a few minutes' time, we're going to be taking you racing at Newbury. Commentary on the Mill Reef Stakes. 5 Live and BBC Sounds busy as ever on a Saturday afternoon, and kicking off at 3:30. You can hear it on Sports Extra. The Women's Rugby World Cup semi-final, France against England for the right to meet Canada in the final. We'll have updates on it throughout our football coverage this afternoon. Let's see what Brighton can do with the corner. It's going to come in from their left flank, in front of the Tottenham fans stationed behind the goal, away to our right. Delivery from the right foot into the near post. Bentancur was able to head that away quite comfortably. Here's Belieber. Belieber turns inside the Tottenham half, can't see a way forward. Comes back to Verbruggen. He lets the ball roll towards him and launches one high in the air, drops on the edge of the Tottenham area. Porro looked like he was caught as he headed that away, and that will be a free kick to Tottenham. Before we go racing, let's give you the 2 team lineups here. I realise I've not done that in full. Brighton, Verbruggen in goal, Veltman, Van Hecke, Dunk, Kadioglu, back 4, Belieber, Ayari, the midfield 2, both being brought into the team today. Minte, the goal scorer, and Mitoma wide, with Gruder, the German, playing off Ruter. And Tottenham have Vicario in goal, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven and Udogie today at left back, Bentancur, Palhinha and Birkval the midfield 3, Kudus and Odegaard wide, with Richarlison through the middle, and he's closing down a back pass here, but Verbruggen's got plenty of time to sweep it away with his left foot. Romero wins the aerial challenge, headed back towards Romero. He controls it, little 1-2 with Porro. Bentancur gets on the ball in the centre circle and now plays to Udogie. So Tottenham made a good start to the game. Lots of attacking, lots of possession, but they find themselves a goal down. Here's Palhinha, 25 yards out, thought about the shot. Instead, high ball lofted away to the right. Kudus, under pressure, has lost this. There's Mitoma, who's such a smooth mover with the ball at his feet. He's tackled inside his own half and wins the throw for Brighton. Brighton 1, Tottenham 0.
Now the quality and the intensity both managers looking to press, looking to jump on, and it's obviously been that one moment of that high line that's made the difference. Spurs certainly could have done it the other way, but full credit to Brighton, has given them a step of confidence. And look at this now, the energy in the game, tactics, the detail that both managers are trying to get across. It's so open.
14 minutes gone in the first half. Brighton 1, Tottenham 0. What's happening at West Ham? John Southall.
Slow burner, Ali. West Ham 0, Crystal Palace 0. Palace have had 4 corners so far in these opening 15 minutes. They know that's a West Ham weakness. So far the home team have dealt with them. West Ham 0, Palace 0.
I can see in League One, Nigel Clough's Mansfield down to 10 men early on in their game. Ryan Sweeney has been sent off away to Port Vale. It remains 0-0. Taking your racing shortly here on 5 Live. Brighton 1 up on Tottenham. Tottenham on the ball. Here's Bentancur. So this afternoon it's Bentancur, Palinia and Burkval as the midfield 3, with Papsar sitting on the bench. Kudus has started every game in the Premier League this season. Here he is on the ball on the right, gets the cross in, Richarlison attacks it, it's just over him. Van Hecke heads it up in the air, Baleba wins the next header, Udogie nods it down, and Odebear is there in his bright orange boots, challenged by Veltman. Veltman is sure the last touch came off Odebear. Assistant referee doesn't agree, and so the throw-in goes to Tottenham, which Udogie is waiting to take. He leans forward but throws it back into his own half to the tall figure of Mickey van der Ven, across to the powerfully built Romero, then Porro, longer pass, searching ball, Burkval trying to control it with the outside of his right boot, touch lets him down, he can't keep it in, goes out for a throw-in to Brighton, and we're going to take you to Newbury for the Mill Reef Stakes. John Hunt.
And we're in the middle of a storm here as we look forward now to the big race of the weekend here, the Mill Reef Stakes, often a sort of race that can identify a top-class horse for the Classics next year. And moving to the front early is Into the Sky. This is fascinating. Into the Sky, trained at Epsom by Jim Boyle. Jim very rarely gets the chance to show what he's worth at the very highest level, but this looks an exciting young horse, and he's gone to the front, leads them stand side. The favourite, Rock on Thunder, is now on the outside flank, trying to challenge. With these is Words of Truth as they come well past halfway. They're followed by Flying Comet in behind those, but can Into the Sky hold on? Into the Sky, not only is he holding on, but he's just drawn on by a couple of lengths. Words of Truth, though, is trying to challenge down the near side. Can Into the Sky hold on for a famous win? Words of Truth, the only danger. They're separated by just a neck. Into the Sky with Words of Truth. Words of Truth just getting up. Words of Truth beats Into the Sky in second place, and Flying Comet was away back in third place. Through the mist and the rain, the blue of Godolphin, Words of Truth, ridden by William Buick for Charlie Appleby, has just lowered the colours of Into the Sky in the Mill Reef Stakes.
Thank you, John. Commentary to come as well this afternoon of the Air Gold Cup, just after 3:30. Scorelines in the Premier League so far today. Brighton leading Tottenham 1-0 here. Forest 1 up at Burnley. Wolves 1, Leeds 0. Big game in League One is Cardiff-Bradford. There's been a goal. Owain Gwyneth.
Yeah, Cardiff 0, Bradford City 1. We're just seeing a stunner. Corner pulled back from the edge to the edge of the box. Tommy Lee absolutely bullets it into the top corner. A well-deserved goal for Bradford. Cardiff 0, Bradford 1.
Another goal at Salford as well for Mark Webber.
Yeah, Salford 2, Swindon 0. 15th minute, Kadeem Harris left on the outside of the area, slotted the ball home and sent David Beckham bouncing again, because it's Salford 2, Swindon 0.
Golden balls with the golden touch, Michael, clearly at Salford.
Well, he's performing when he's there.
Yeah, Baleba, that's a great ball from deep for Brighton. Here's the goal scorer, Minte running at Udogie into the Tottenham penalty area, heading for the byline. Udogie did really well to stick with him. Ball has spun behind. Brighton won a corner, Tottenham won a goal kick, and Mickey van der Ven applauds the assistant referee and says thank you for not buying that and for giving us the goal kick. So what have you made of the first 18 minutes or so here, Michael?
I was just looking, Destin Udogie just coming in at that left back position. Do you know, is that something they've targeted Brighton because he know he's going to go all of the way? He was encouraged to do that all last season. This is now a different format, and there's just that one moment between him and centre-back where he's managed to change the outcome of the game. Spurs have certainly attacked and made the pitch big. Kudos wherever they can, trying to get him on the ball, but you know, it's been high tempo, quick press. I think Brighton looks a bit fragile early till all of a sudden they just come to light with the goal.
Wickham sacked Mike Dodds in the week. Michael Duff now in charge. They lead at home against Northampton. Foul committed here on Veltman. Free kick for Brighton inside the Tottenham half, and Accrington 1-0 up away to MK Dons in League 2. Match of the day tonight, BBC One at 10:30. We've got full commentary on 5 Live of Manchester United Chelsea at 5:30. Lewis Dunk strokes one up the middle of the pitch. Rutter tried to turn it round the corner to Gruder. That's the link up they're looking for there between Rutter just a little ahead of Gruder, playing in the pocket for Brighton. Here's Bentancur, finds Odebear just inside the Brighton half. Udogie gets involved, flying forward as Michael was saying at every opportunity. It comes back to Palhinha. Palhinha, high ball away to the right, aimed at Porro. Porro is onto it, he's got space to work with here, brings it infield, down by the byline, cross comes in low, might come back to Bentancur. Sliding challenge by Gruder is a really good one. Gruder's caught on the edge of the area, but the ball runs to Baleba, and blue and white shirts flying forward, and Baleba nearly finds Ruto. Vicario's out just in time for Tottenham. First clearance comes straight back to him, second one goes high in the air, and Tottenham survived. They were very nearly caught out in exactly the same way that they were for the first goal, and now Tottenham are on the offensive. And here's Richarlison, ball at his feet, drops a shoulder, edge of the area, right-footed chip cross, can't find a teammate, behind it goes for the goal kick. Brighton 1, Tottenham 0.
Thomas Frank stepping forward, encouraging at the front of his technical area. Richarlison, for all the good work, tried to drift it to the back post, but there was nobody really there. I think it's really disappointing there, but really Baleba's the one in the middle of the pitch. He just comes alive, great ball in. Again, a counter-attack is dangerous from Brighton.
Got to go back to Turf Moor. Another goal, Julia Bold.
It's now Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Jason Anthony with the goal. He caught Matt Sells off his line. Zinchenko tried to block it and fell backwards as it went in. It's now Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
And Reading 1 up on Leyton Orient in League 1. Never going to be dull under Ange Postecoglou. Third game in charge for Nottingham Forest.
I predicted last night it could be the lowest scoring meet, so I thought Burnley keep him out. So that's not looking good, is it?
Michael was on the Premier League kick-off last night with Darren Fletcher. Who else was on last night? Glenn Murray, David James, is that right?
Yeah, good night. Fun, really enjoyable.
Yep.
Good couple of hours.
Yeah, if you want to have a listen back to it, it's available on the BBC Sounds app, which is where you'll find the Football Daily podcast as well. Brighton 1, Tottenham 0. Hull leads Southampton in the Championship, I see. Lewis Dunk plays back to the edge of the penalty area. Sheffield United Charlton in the Championship this afternoon. Chris Wilder back in charge. Chris Coles.
And the biggest cheer of the game came when Chris Wilder was reintroduced to the crowd. Not much has happened on the field. It's 0-0. Sheffield United dominating possession. Charlton looking good on the counter-attack. Sheffield United 0, Charlton 0.
Kyle Joseph with the whole goal at home against Southampton. Ruter complaining that his sliding tackle on Burkval was a fair challenge. He got the ball. He did have the ball at his feet. He's standing there pointing to Christopher Kavanagh and saying, look, I've got it right here, but the free kick is given against him. Norwich Wrexham being watched by Flo Pollock.
Still goalless here. Josh Sargent with a few chances for Norwich. Wrexham's best effort saw Josh Windass strike the post from a short corner. Norwich 0, Wrexham 0.
Cross comes in from Odebear. Burkval tried to get on the end of it, just beyond him. Bentancur wins the next header. Richarlison flicks a header into the Brighton penalty area. Mitoma is the next to leap up and get his head on the ball. It eventually comes down to Porro. And now a chance for Kudus to run at Kadioglu. So it's changed left backs for both teams this afternoon. Kudus went left, went right. Kadioglu does a great job there, and eventually the ball goes behind for the goal kick to Brighton. Derby Preston in the Championship. Will Perry.
It's goalless. Lewis Dobbin on loan from Villa, who had a spell here at Derby, denied a penalty. Nothing given when Carlton Morris went to ground in the other box. Ben Whiteman's long ranger for the visitors, the only shot on target. Derby 0, Preston 0.
So 23 minutes in the first half, midway through this first half at the Amex Stadium, and Brighton leading through the Minte goal, and they're trying to play out from their own half, and Ruter's come very deep to lay the ball off to the right hand side. Knocked forward by Veltman. Gruder making himself awkward. Bouncing ball. Van der Ven was struggling to get any power on the header. Ruter chested it down and then tried to flick a pass forward with his right foot, but it didn't work. Tottenham have it again with Porro. And Porro again looks for the early long one. Great ball into the feet of Richarlison. Great touch as well. Works it onto the left foot and hits it into the side netting. Good effort from Tottenham. Richarlison buries his head in his hands. It's gone behind for the goal kick. So the semi-final in the Women's Rugby World Cup about to get underway. This is France against England. Maz Faruqi.
Yes, 6 minutes away, Ali. France and England, I suspect, may have thought they'd be playing for the opportunity to face the 6-time world champions New Zealand in next Saturday's final. Instead, the winners will play Canada, and England are the big favourites against a French side they have beaten in their last 16 matches. The players are just coming out onto the pitch here in front of us at Ashton Gate.
Final next Saturday at 4 o'clock against Canada. As Maz says, you can listen to that semi-final on Sports Extra. You can also watch it on BBC One. Still Brighton 1, Tottenham 0 in the Premier League. Vicario might be under pressure here. Ruter closes in. Vicario floats the ball out to the right. Nicely worked by Porro. Brings it down. Plays it to Palhinha. In a second, I'm going to get the thoughts from Michael Brown on the effort by Richarlison, which has been Tottenham's best effort in the game so far. Kudus has it on the right. Back to Porro. Porro is allowed to bring it forward, then crosses from deep. Van Hecke heads it away. Belabor, very composed manner, controls it on the edge of his own box and then launches it downfield. No one there, straight through to Vicario.
Yeah, long diagonal pass. Richarlison just pulling out into that left-hand side into the space. Takes it down really well on the edge of the penalty area, just to the left-hand side. Pulls it onto that left foot, gets closer to the goalkeeper and strikes it near post. Looked like it could have snuck in that top corner, but it hits that side netting. Has looked all right, Richarlison. Here he is again now, trying to do things quickly. He's trying to barge all the way through as he gets barged off it.
Good effort from Richarlison, fighting for the team. Minte was too strong. Long ball over the top for Brighton has worked really well. Van der Ven's got to use all of his speed here to get back to Ruter. He has got there. Ruter holds it up now. Back to goal on the right-hand side. Still holds off Van der Ven. Moving with the ball, finds Gruder. Gruder rolls it across here to Ayari, trying to make space for the shot. Hits it well. Vicario palms it away. Stuck both arms close together in front of his body and just pushed it away with his forearms there. And the Brighton fans sense another goal could be on the way. They lead Tottenham 1-0.
Yeah, it moved a lot. Yari just waited for the chance. It shouted with his feet. Right-footed, it moved.
Here's Gruder, receives it from Minte. Gruder's effort, curling way over the bar and into those Tottenham fans behind the goal. But some promising stuff from Brighton.
Yeah, really good Gruder this time. He's putting into positions, but as soon as they see sight of goal, that's one wobbled right in front of Vicario. He does well to actually pass it away, but the next one, wayward, as I was saying, keep the ball down.
Gillingham have equalised away to Newport in League 2. Newport 1, Gillingham 1. Here's Kudus, edge of the Brighton box, headed away by Van Hecke, down to the feet of Mitoma. Lobbed forward there, offside flag is up against Ruter. Referee ignores that. Tottenham have it, they can continue their attack. Here's Kudus. Kudus' pass into the feet of Palhinha. Porro again, crossing from the right. Dunk's header, only as far as Odobert, slicing shot. Well wide of the target. Set up for him to have a real spank of that, which he did. But in the end, that veered away and it was heading for the corner flag.
Yeah, 3 balls in with real pace from Porro down the right. It just sits up nicely, tries to strike across, but it's always drifting away the outside of his foot. Agonizingly for Odobert as it drifts away, but it's been an improvement. This is the one now, Ali, where you just look at Spurs sort of right on the halfway line, 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Van der Ven steps forward onto Gruder. It's risk and reward, and that's the point. Unlucky, or is that a foul right in the
Well,
middle
that's
of the
interesting, isn't it, Michael? You picked that out. Verbruggen played the pass into Gruder in the middle of his own half. Van der Ven goes searching to try and win that ball high up the field, and it's given as a free kick. But if he gets it right, I mean, you remember the second goal they scored against Manchester City, where James Trafford got caught playing out, didn't they? And Palhinha eventually stuck that away. But it's that sort of thing they're trying to do.
They know straight away when they go short, want to play the ball. I think that's where Brighton have had the joy on the right occasions. They have spun it and realised that they can't just play through the middle where the press is, and full credit, that's where they've obviously had the opening goal.
Josh McGuinness equaliser for Exeter away to Stevenage in League 1. Stevenage 1, Exeter 1. Wolves 1, Leeds 0, latest in the Premier League. Commentary of that game is over on Sports Extra 2. Choice of listening in the Premier League, as there is every Saturday afternoon here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Burnley 1, Forest 1. West Ham and Palace is goalless. And there's been a goal at Derby in the Championship. Will Perry.
Palace.
And it's a guy on loan from a team that you're watching there, Ali. Alfie Devine on loan from Spurs. Derby 0, Preston 1. It's a screamer. It's taken a deflection, but it's gone into the top corner past Vidal Zetterstrom. Derby 0, Preston 1.
Thank you, Will. Vicario's collected a ball on the edge of his own penalty area. Minte was again looking to race through on goal. Vicario got there just in time, and Minte actually gave up the chase and is holding his lower back and his side here, and just seems to be in a little bit of discomfort.
Strange that, you know. Do you know the height of where it's at as he rotates and changes, so unless he's got an existing injury.
Penalty at Cardiff. Cardiff against Bradford. Owen Gwyneth.
And the ball's just hit the back of the net. Anthony Sarcevic with a goal for Bradford City. Cardiff 0, Bradford 2. Osho diving in recklessly to give the penalty away, and Bradford double their lead on the road. Cardiff 0, Bradford 2.
Here's Ayari for Brighton. He worked that well with Matoma. They're inside the Tottenham penalty area. Ruter gets involved now. Wall of black shirts in front of him. Richarlison is now holding his lower back. He felt he was caught earlier on in this Brighton move. No free kick given. Walking a little bit sorely here with his left hand and his lower back. Driven effort from the edge of the box. It's into the back of the net. That is a quite stunning strike for Brighton. Vicario seemed totally taken by surprise. A right foot rocket from Yassin Ayari from the 45-degree angle. It may have swerved all over the place, but it's ended up in the back of the net, and Brighton are cooking. Brighton 2, Tottenham 0.
This is from absolutely nothing again. The ball was dead and he just turns. He pushes it out, but there is a bit of controversy because Richarlison was caught. He's been laid down on the pitch for such a long period of time as Tottenham were light. But we can't take any away from Ayari for this strike because he's so far away. Tottenham in possession, got to do better. Brighton putting the press on, but then when he gets the opportunity really wide, it's a strange angle on the far left-hand side. The ball must move. There's a slight deflection. We get a little look now and we see it moves late, but the goalkeeper will be disappointed because it does check away for him. He hits it well, right through him. He loses his feet. The momentum of his knees go down to the floor. His power goes and then it drifts into the far corner.
Yeah, he gets a hand to it, Vicario, but it's a weak left hand and he's slightly off balance, and he's been surprised by the power of the shot, but it's ripped into the back of the net, and Brighton lead Tottenham 2-0. Another goal at Molineux. Pat Murphy.
Leeds have scored a goal. It's 1-1, and it's a superb goal from Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Deep cross from Bogle. There he was, the tall Calvert-Lewin, hung in the air, vintage centre forward's header, beat the keeper. Superb goal. Wolves 1, Leeds 1.
Peterborough, who got their first win last weekend against Wickham, at it again this afternoon. Peterborough 1 up away to Plymouth, I can see. And here Brighton lead Tottenham 2-0, and the ball is headed down to Van Hecker, and he comes back to his goalkeeper Verbruggen, Michael Brown.
Have they got a case for a foul? Vicario clears it. Richarlison tried to get his body in. There is contact across the back of him, but for a long time he was left on the floor. He won't be happy with it, but a strike like that from that distance on the wide area, goalkeeper's got to save it.
It's quite a way back in the move as well. I know the VR is always looking at the attacking phase of play. Still on the floor, yeah.
Could have went, you know, there was a lot of things happening after that. The Spurs had the opportunity to maybe put it out as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was an interception from a clearance that Ayari got onto, and then fizzed the shot past Vicario. Producer George just passed me a note to tell me that Harry Kane has scored again for Bayern Munich away to Hoffenheim. 12th goal in 8 games for club and country so far this season. We are going racing again soon. Udogie drives a cross in. That could have gone anywhere. Took a big deflection off Van Hecker in front of his own goal. Flies over his own bar and goes behind for a corner. West Ham Palace, John Southall.
It's 0-0, but first chance of the game to Palace. Daichi Kamada 4 yards out with the header wide of the right-hand post. Should have done better. West Ham 0, Palace 0.
Right, Pedro Porro's waiting to take a corner. Tottenham, it's not quite they don't know what's hit them this afternoon, but caught early on the counter for the first goal, and I think Vicario will be disappointed he didn't do better for the shot on the second goal. Let's see if Tottenham can find a response here. We are 33 minutes into the first half. Stooping attempt at a flick-on header from Palhinha at the near post. Low corner from Porro, just hits the legs of Van Hecker and goes behind for another Tottenham corner.
similar to like what Spurs did to Manchester City, where this game's gone now. So Spurs have had all the ball and tried to put into good areas, but they've just hit on the break, and then a mistake from the goalkeeper.
Here it comes again from Porro from the left, headed away by Ruter. Bouncing ball is nodded to the left by Udogie. Misunderstanding between Bergvall and Porro. Porro wanted that to run to him. Bergvall thought he was making a run for him, and he prodded it past him, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Brighton. Shouldn't forget as well, actually, Michael, Brighton, in terms of their win this season, beat Manchester City here 2-1 as well. Their home record is extremely good, actually. Only lost 3 times at home here in the Premier League last season, and actually should have probably won their first home game of the season against Fulham and conceded an equaliser in the very last minute of the game. So they are a decent side at home, we know that. Verbruggen from his own area. Romero beats Ruter in the air. Odobert chests it forward, then runs into Ayari. Both players go down. Play continues, and then it's passed straight out of play by Gruder and out for a throw-in to Tottenham. So this will be a test for Thomas Frank to see if he can turn this around.
Well, he was just sat on the technical area, on the chair, just having a chat with his staff. All of a sudden he jumps up, tries to gain a little bit of momentum, passing on information. Richarlison's in all sorts of problems. He just gets a little push now. You know he's going to react, and he has done. Veltman with a little wind up.
Yeah. He knew what he was doing there, didn't he? He saw who was at his feet. He gave Richarlison, yeah, exactly that, and Richarlison did react.
I can't believe players do that.
He just bumped into Veltman, did nothing more, and the referee has said, cut it out. Try then in the Rugby World Cup semi-final, Mas Faruqi.
From who else? Ellie Kildun back into the starting 15 for England today and sparkling in a run forward, putting on the afterburners to touchdown for the first score of the match, the first try, which Zoe Harrison has converted. So it's France 0, England 7.
Canada waiting in the World Cup final next Saturday. Commentary of that semi-final continues on Sports Extra. You can watch it on BBC One, and your highlights from the latest action of the World Athletics Championship in Tokyo on BBC 3 tonight at 7 o'clock. Here's Porro with the free kick. From left to right it goes, controlled by Bentancur, wide on the right for Tottenham, turns away from goal, comes back to Odobert. Porro wants this, thought about hitting that first time. The pass wasn't good enough for that, and so he had to control it, take a couple of touches and go back to Udogie and wide to Kudus, and Porro's involved again down by the byline. Cross in, straight into the safe hands of Verbruggen, who throw-in style skids the ball out here to Minte, and Minte goes speeding forward. Mitoma making a great run. Minte's found him, and that is fabulous defensive backtracking work from Udogie to slide in and make the challenge and win it for Tottenham. Goal at West Ham. This could be crucial, John Southall.
Oh, it was coming. West Ham 0, Crystal Palace 1. Jean-Philippe Mateta came for the corner. Gahey's header came off the crossbar, came back to Mateta, and he finished it off. It hasn't gone down well here. West Ham 0, Palace 1.
Yeah, I was there last Saturday. I watched Tottenham win 3-0. West Ham, the one win in the Premier League so far this season, away to Nottingham Forest, but behind at home this afternoon. Gillingham were 1-0 down away to Newport. Johnny Smith has now got them 2-1 in front. Brighton are 2-0 up against Tottenham here. Little flick passes blocked by Palhinha. Kudus is all on his own, trying to dribble through 2 or 3 Brighton players, and eventually someone gets a foot in and stops him. Van Hecker has it, and he passes the ball across to Lewis Dunk. And producer George busy this afternoon. Great point made here, by the way, Michael. Last season, we said it before the game, Tottenham were 2-0 up first half. Brighton turned it around in the second half. Here we have Brighton 2-0 up, so Tottenham know it can be done.
Goals, 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 that's what we want. A bit of entertainment, but again, Brighton so quick counter-attacking. There were 3v2 there, they should have done better, but really good work covering from Udogie, as you've mentioned, but it could have got worse. But they keep coming, they keep trying, Spurs, and just not finding any sort of real clear cut. Richarlison is getting frustrated.
Tranmere have equalised away at Walsall in League 2. Commentary of the Air Gold Cup on the way here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. And Tottenham trying to find a way back into this Premier League game. Porro on the right, stops, comes back, plays to Bentancur, feeds his pass low to Romero, across to Van der Ven. Brighton have all the outfield players behind the ball. Van der Ven goes straight up the middle of the pitch to Richarlison. Little layoff here to Palhinha. Delicately glides a pass over the head of the Brighton midfield. Bergvall's low cross, too close to Verbruggen, who initially spills that. No one near him, though, so he was able to pick it up at the second attempt. Goal at Wolves, Pat Murphy.
Gone to Leeds United. Magnificent free kick from Anton Stack, the German midfield player. Calvert-Lewin bundled over. Wolves not happy. Dead centre, 25 yards out. Smashed it with his right foot. Sarr no chance. Splendid goal. 1-0 down Leeds. They now lead 2-1.
Oldham have gone 1-up at Cheltenham in League 2. It's Brighton 2, Tottenham 0 here at the Amex. We are going racing again. The Air Gold Cup. Here's Darren Owen.
Halfway through the Air Gold Cup, Purasangwa's gone off the favourite. That horse is over on the far side in mid-division. Desert Falcon leads the charge on the far side from Run Boy Run. And then comes Solar Acclaim. Purasangwa now called on for an effort. Milford down the centre. Jordan Electric's Jubilee Walk not too far away. And then Northern Ticker. Furlong and a half to go. Over on the far side it is Desert Falcon, Run Boy Run, Purasangwa, Hammer the Hammer. And then Badri, Jubilee Walk is coming down the centre of the course. Action unfolding on the far side with Run Boy Run and Desert Falcon. Those two together. Run Boy Run and Desert Falcon. Not a lot in it. Run Boy Run has won it. Run Boy Run wins. Desert Falcon, Jubilee Walk, they're close for the places. Hammer the Hammer and Purasangwa were just in behind. This has gone to Run Boy Run for Phil Cunningham, the owner, Richard Spencer, the trainer, George Wood, the jockey. They won the Silver Cup earlier on in the day, and back in the midsummer they won the Stewards Cup with Two Tribes. Run Boy Run has won the Air Gold Cup.
Tottenham have a corner at the Amex Stadium. Richarlison has gone close. Effort deflected wide. There's been a goal at Norwich though. Flo Pollock.
Norwich 1, Wrexham 0. Jack Stacey put through on goal. All the Wrexham players looked for an offside flag. That didn't come. Stacey slithered in on this, his 100th appearance for Norwich. Norwich 1, Wrexham 0.
Harry Kane's got a second for Bayern Munich as well from the penalty spot away to Hoffenheim. His former team Tottenham are here, and they're in a spot of bother at the Amex. 2-0 down. Corner taken by Porro. High swinging one to the back post. Richarlison nods it down and wide. That is behind for a goal kick to Brighton. Chesterfield have equalised at Bromley in League 2. That is 1-1. We know that Norwich are 1-up on Wrexham. Bristol Rovers 1-up away to Colchester in League 2. You are up to date with all the scores. We've got about 4 minutes left in the first half here. So Leeds 2-1 up at Wolves in the Premier League. Commentary continues on Sports Extra 2. Burnley 1, Forest 1. Palace 1 up at West Ham. Brighton leading Tottenham 2-0 here. And Liverpool made it 5 wins out of 5, beating Everton 2-1 at Anfield in the Merseyside derby in the lunchtime kickoff. Baleba bumped off the ball by Bentancur. It runs to Ayari, who scored the stunning second for Brighton. Tottenham have it back again. Kudus, good ball to Bentancur. Bentancur running at Brighton defenders, lays it off to Odebear. Little first time pass to Bentancur, back to Kudus, looks for the bottom corner. Richarlison hits for Bruggen and in. Tottenham have their goal. They've eventually found a way through. Richarlison was on the floor in the penalty area there, but reacted well with his right foot, hit it low and hard. It came off for Bruggen. It's into the back of the net. Brighton are complaining to the referee about something here, but as it stands at the moment, Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. Michael Brown.
Yeah, Spurs were quick, intensity was high, looking for all angles, and they were patient on the edge of the area. Bentancur initially, I felt like he was going to get his shot away. He had a second goal, then Kudus, and then right in the centre, 6 yards out, Richarlison managed to take a touch. He was sliding away for him. He just stretched out and just pushed it into the off the goalkeeper, actually off his chest and into the far corner. Well, I'm not sure what they're asking for, but they're certainly looking to try and do something, Brighton.
Do you know what, in the build-up there, a little bit like for the Brighton second goal, I saw Fabian Herzler sort of gesturing. He thought there was a challenge, I think, on one of his players in the way that Tottenham won the ball and then got it to build that attack. So I wonder if that is what he's asking for. At the moment, away to our left, we've got Brighton players and Tottenham players surrounding the referee. Jan Paul van Hekke in conversation with him. Romero's joined in the debate. The goal's going to stand. So Tottenham are back in the game. Richarlison has his third goal of the season. It is Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. It is Barnet 1, Grimsby 0, close to half-time in League 2. The thing is with VAR nowadays, every goal gets disputed, doesn't it, Michael? Because you just think, well, we might have a chance here if we just... You've
got to ask the question, delay it, let them have a little bit of a...
They're always looking. They're always looking.
Look for a longer time, but yeah, it's a good time, isn't it, for Spurs?
Here they come again. Pellini has found Kudus, and Kudus goes scorching away down the right, supporting the outside from Bergvall. Bergvall using the pace of Kudus again. He checks inside the area, cross into the far post. Audebert lays it down. Palhinha let it go through his legs, looking for Bentancur. And Bentancur's foot has caught Van Hecker in the head. Van Hecker threw himself forward to win a header. Bentancur's foot was high, and you're telling me there's no contact there at all?
Well, you're going with it, and I'm thinking he looks a little bit guilty, doesn't he? He makes sure he gets it under pressure just to delay. Here's the other look now. He puts his head down.
Doesn't touch
nowhere
him.
near.
You're absolutely bang on. I mean, the free kick is given for the high foot because there's potential danger there, but Van Hecker is...
His head was... Well, it's still tall for me, but his head was... was at his hip.
No, I agree with you, Michael. I agree with you. Notts County 1, Crawley 0 in League 2. And in the 3 o'clock kickoff in the Scottish Premiership this afternoon, Dundee lead Livingston 1-0. Brighton come looking for a third. Poor pass on the edge of the Tottenham area. Audebert, Bentancur's run into trouble, but the ball, luckily for him, runs back into his own area. And here's Vicario, who slings it out overarm towards Porro, beyond Porro. And again, there's a misunderstanding between Porro and Burkvale. They left it for each other, and it's gone out for the throw.
Do you think that was like Ange Postecoglou, wasn't it? Just literally, let's go for it. You go, we go. But actually, Thomas Frank was stood there cheering, applauding, saying, yeah, come on, keep it up. So he's happy with opening it up. I feel like he can be a little bit more defensive when he needs to be, as we've seen in the week.
Brighton 2, Tottenham 1, approaching half-time. Here's Burkvale striding forward for Tottenham. A 4th goal of the first half at Molineux. Pat Murphy.
Another one for Leeds. Okafor, splendid counter-attack after a move fell apart just inside the Wolves half. He shuffled it up very, very quickly, and there he was, left foot past the keeper. They were 1-0 down 15 minutes ago. They now lead Wolves 3-1.
Commentary of that game this afternoon is on Sports Extra 2. Chris Wise and Andy Reid, your commentary team there. And there's no wonder Gillingham unbeaten in League 2, 1-0 down against Newport at the start of the game today. Bradley Dack's penalty has now got them 3-1 up. We're in added time at the end of the first half. 3 minutes of it to be played. 1 minute of that has gone. And it's setting up really nicely for a great second half, I think, Michael. Yeah,
it's hold that new contract at Wolves, I would say, when you look at those little bits of score lines at this moment in time. Brighton now, in the last seconds, will they go direct? A free kick just inside the Spurs half. Will they go for it? Will they open it? Will they sort of say, well, that's enough now, we'll keep the ball and wait?
Let's see. Free kick, 7-8 yards inside the Tottenham half. Brighton are leading 2-1. Leeds 3-1 up at Wolves. Half-time reports coming. Burnley 1, Forest 1. And West Ham behind at home against Crystal Palace. Bodies on the floor just outside the Tottenham area. One of those is Lewis Dunk. Dunk and Kudus having a wrestle. Dunk complains to referee Kavanagh, who doesn't seem too interested in that. It's going to be a throw-in for Tottenham in the left-back position. Udogie waits to take. 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. Van der Ven comes across, just knocks one out of play. Tottenham, I think, just relieved to be back in the game. What have you spotted, Michael?
Thomas Frank's got his big notepad on it.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's writing on it. Do you think he'll say Vicario? It's to say,
must do better
on the second goal.
School report time. Here at Tottenham with Audebert, who's over on the right in this attack, comes to Porro. Porro loves an early cross into the box. This one's headed away by Van Hecker. Bounces in front of Palhinha, midway inside the Brighton half. Van der Ven's got to work hard to keep possession. Gets there, passes to Porro, back to Palhinha. Palhinha forward here to Kudus. Bentancur is there, he passes it beyond Bentancur to Udogie. Udogie lays it back to Bentancur, who very casually strokes a pass back to Romero. Brighton have everyone deep inside their own half. Late in the first half here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. A little bit of skill from Kudus, takes on Kadioglu. Half-time whistle blows, and Brighton have the lead at half-time. Yankuba Minte with the early goal. Yassin Ayari with a stunning swerving strike. Although looking at it again, I think Vicario will feel that possibly he should have kept it out. But Tottenham back in the game through Richarlison. What have you made of it, Michael Brown?
Yeah, great first half. Spurs had all the momentum, but it was that quick counter-attack. Minte just gets through, was really calm in front of goal, sat Vicario down, and then obviously it was that strike which did move a lot. Vicario should have done better. Spurs have showed some great touches, some good movement, finally get back into it with a frustrated Richarlison. but it sets it up nicely for a really, really strong second half.
Yeah, Brighton did the double over Tottenham last season. They lead them at half-time. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1.
Cracking first half at the Amex. Back for the second half. A sense of inevitability after the first 45 at the London Stadium. John Southall.
Absolutely. West Ham 0, Palace 1, and the regular boos at half-time here. West Ham's misery continues, a half short on chances. Palace took one of their two. No surprise it came from a corner. Kamada swung it in. Gahey's header came off the bar, and Mateta reacted quickest to nod it in. So 4.5 league games played. West Ham have now conceded from 7 corners. That is awful, and it's a massive problem. They've offered very little going forward. Late on in the half, Callum Wilson just dwelt too long and was dispossessed. Graham Potter needs a big half-time team talk. West Ham 0, Palace 1.
You say exactly the same thing about Vitor Pereira. Leeds completely turned that half around at Molineux. Pat Murphy.
They're 3-1 up at half-time. After half an hour, they were 1 down to a goal from Krejci, a splendid breakaway. But then 3 goals in 15 minutes. Calvert-Lewin, a towering header. Stack, a fulminating, explosive right-foot free kick. And then Stack laid another one on for Okafor on the break. No goals in open play in the first 4 games for Leeds. They've scored 3/4 of an hour. What's going on? Wolves 1, Leeds 3.
Evan Weir has got his second of the afternoon for Walsall, and they have retaken the lead in their game. Walsall 2, Tranmere 1 as they approach half-time. Back to the Premier League, Julia Bold.
Yeah, it's Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest at the break. What a half of football we've been treated to. It's been end-to-end stuff. The opening goal came on 2 minutes. Nico Williams for Forest. The corner came in. Douglas Luiz sent the ball into the box. Burnley tried to clear it. It fell to an unmarked Williams, who smashed it in the back of the net. The equaliser, Jadon Anthony on the left, got the ball past keeper Matt Sells. Zinchenko tried to block it on the line. As he toppled backwards, the ball went in the back of the net. There's been chances for both sides to go into the lead, but Ange Postecoglou must be wondering how Forest are not in front. 4 further shots on target have all been dealt with by Martin Dubravka. At the break, Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
Earlier, 5 wins out of 5 for Liverpool in the league this season. They beat Everton by 2-1 at 5:30. Full commentary in Manchester United against Chelsea. 8 o'clock tonight, it's Fulham against Brentford. Earlier in the Championship, Birmingham 1, Swansea 0, Leicester 0, Coventry 0, and QPR 1, Stoke 0. We'll start our 3 o'clocks at Bramall Lane. Chris Coles.
Sheffield United 0, Charlton 0. Certainly more of the old Sheffield United fizz to this performance, but no real chances to speak of. A couple of Harmer long ranges, but nothing clear cut. Charlton looked good on the break and had the best opportunity. Lloyd Jones' header expertly saved by Michael Cooper. Sheffield United 0, Charlton 0.
Going okay for Sheffield United, going even better for Sheffield Wednesday. Sahale.
Yeah, they lead Portsmouth at half-time mark by a goal to 0. They started the brighter and deserved their lead through their very own magician, Barry Bannon. An absolutely top-class free kick, 20 yards away. He deceived the Portsmouth goalkeeper. 3 further chances then for the visitors. Good goalkeeping by Ben Killett, denying them each time. John Swift with the only chance for Portsmouth. His 30-yard strike swerving and dipping, well saved by the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper. Half-time here, Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Wrexham continue to find the Championship tough going. Flo Pollock.
Yes, they do. Half-time, Norwich 1, Wrexham 0. Norwich lead at Carrow Road for the first time this season. Jack Stacey with the goal. Wrexham had chances. Josh Windass hit the post. Kiefer Moore couldn't finish when he got played through on goal. Wrexham have now conceded 11 goals in 6 games. Half-time, Norwich 1, Wrexham 0.
Elsewhere in the Championship, goalless between Blackburn and Ipswich. It's Derby 0, Preston 1. They're just outside the playoffs of Preston, but they have the lead at Pride Park this afternoon. And Hull leads Southampton by 1-0. Kyle Joseph with the goal there. Earlier in League One, Blackpool 1, Barnsley 0, Bolton 4, Wigan 1, and Lincoln 3, Luton 1. That win for Lincoln took them to the top of the table. As things stand, they're going to be replaced by Bradford at 5 o'clock. Owain Gwyneth.
Yeah, Cardiff 0, Bradford 2. The visitors have stunned the Bluebirds in the opening 45 with the 2,000 plus travelling supporters in full voice. Tommy Lee's 16th minute stunner opening the scoring. Ball pulled back from a corner to the edge of the box, and the unmarked midfielder smashed it into the top corner for his first goal for the club. Ante Sarcevic doubled the lead from the penalty spot, and he should have made it 3 late on, missing a free header from 6 yards out. Cardiff have had chances but fluffed the finish. Cardiff 0, Bradford 2.
Elsewhere in League One, Doncaster 0, AFC Wimbledon 0, Huddersfield 0, who've won all 4 at home this season in the league, but they're being held by Burton. Huddersfield 0, Burton 0. Peterborough lead at Plymouth by a goal to 0. Jimmy Morgan has got that, 3 for the season for him. It's goalless between Port Vale and Mansfield. Mansfield are down to 10 in that game. Reading lead Leyton Orient by a goal to 0. They've lost 2 out of 3 at home in the league this season, but they lead at the break thanks to Jack Marriott's goal. It's goalless between Rotherham and Stockport. Stevenage 1, Exeter 1. Josh McGuinness equalising for Exeter. That's his 4th of the season. And Wickham, who changed their manager this week, they sacked Mike Dodds. They brought in Michael Duff. It's working so far at the break. They lead Northampton by a goal to 0. In League 2 earlier, Cambridge 2, Fleetwood 1, Harrogate 2, Shrewsbury 0. We're at Salford Swindon. This is 3rd against 1st at the start of the day. Mark Webber.
Salford 2, Swindon 0. Salford co-owner David Beckham has watched a feast of football this first half. George Grant's 4th minute wonder striker, looping 25-yarder, found the top corner and got Becks on his feet. Kadeem Harris unmarked to slot home from outside of the left of the area. 11 minutes later, that made the second. But Swindon haven't been out of this. They forced 3 super saves from the Salford keeper. Aaron Drinnan's point-blank shot, probably the best of them. Salford 2, Swindon 0.
Elsewhere, Barnet, who haven't won at home in the league this season, lead Grimsby by a goal to 0 at the break. It's goalless between Barrow and Crewe. Bromley 1, Chesterfield 1. Michael Cheek's 4th of the season, giving the home side the lead there. Armando Dobra's 4th of the season, equalising for Paul Cook's side. Cheltenham 0, Oldham 1. Cheltenham bottom of the table, of course. Colchester 0, Bristol Rovers 1. Fabrizio Caven with his 4th of the season, giving Bristol Rovers the lead there. MK Dons 0, Accrington 1. Gillingham were behind at Newport early on, but they've turned it round to lead 3-1 at the break. 2 of those goals from Bradley Dack, 1 from the penalty spot. Notts County lead Crawley by a goal to 0, and Walsall lead Tranmere by 2 goals to 1. Evan Weir has got both the goals for Matt Sadler's side, and that is 3 for the season now for him. Just the one game in the Scottish Premiership this afternoon. Dundee lead Livingston by a goal to 0. That's because it's Scottish League Cup quarter-final weekend. St Mirren went through on penalties last night against Kilmarnock. Rangers Hibs is at 5:45. Aberdeen Motherwell has reached half-time. Gavin.
Yeah, Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0, Mark. You'd have thought both teams had been right up for this from the word go. As a trip to Hampden is at stake for a semi-final, but it took us a good 15-20 minutes to get started, though. Best chance for Aberdeen came 5 before the break. Max Canuster, it was a ball whipped in. He gets just on the 6-yard box and slams it off the bar. Motherwell with a great chance, but it stays 0-0.
Edrionians 0, Wraith 0 in the Scottish Championship. Arbroath 0, Morton 0. Next to bottom, Ross County 1, Queen's Park 1. In League 1, Alloa 2, Cove Rangers 0. East Fife 1, Montrose 1. Kelty Hearts 0, Hamilton 3. Queen of the South 0. Inverness 1 and Stenhousemuir 1, Peterhead 1. In League 2, Clyde 1, Edinburgh City 1, East Kilbride 1, Dumbarton 0, Forfar 1, Annan 0, Spartans 0, Stirling 2. It's goalless between Stranraer and Elgin. Just back to England and the National League. Brackley Town 1, Sutton 0 was a result from lunchtime. Then half-time in the 3 o'clocks. Aldershot 1, Hartlepool 0. Altrincham 1, Carlisle 2, Boston 0, Boreham Wood 0, Eastleigh 1, Braintree 1, Gateshead 1, Halifax 1, Morecambe 3, Wealdstone 1, Scunthorpe 1, Truro 0, Tamworth 0, Yeovil 0, Woking 0, Forest Green Rovers 1, and York City and Solihull Moors are goalless. Let's go to the Women's Rugby Union World Cup semi-final, and it is tight, Maz Faruqi.
It is, and France have their first score, one they absolutely deserve after some real sustained pressure in England's 22. Nasira Condé with the try, but the conversion kick was put wide, so they played 26 minutes, and it's France 5, England 7.
Chaotic qualifying for tomorrow's Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Ben Edwards.
Qualifying in Baku saw more red flag interruptions than F1 seen before. Wind and rain affected conditions. Lots of drivers made errors, but Max Verstappen delivered a perfect lap at the end to grab his first pole in Baku. Carlos Sainz second for Williams, but the McLaren Championship contenders had a tough time. Points leader Oscar Piastri crashed out and will start 9th, while Lando Norris touched a barrier and he'll be 7th on the grid. Both Ferraris had troubles as well. It's going to be an unpredictable race, but Max Verstappen could be on for back-to-back victories after winning in Monza.
Elsewhere, Great Britain knocked out of the Billie Jean King Cup at the semi-final stage by the USA, and Hampshire finished their innings in the one-day cup final. 45 overs. They faced 237 for 7 when Worcestershire bat. You can listen to that on Sports Extra 3 this afternoon. Dan Morsley has the news at 1 minute to 4.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
There are long queues to check in at Heathrow after computer problems struck a service provider, causing disruption to 3 European airports. The BBC understands that British Airways is operating as normal, using a backup system, but that most other airlines operating from Heathrow have been affected. An elderly British couple released by the Taliban authorities after almost 8 months in detention in Afghanistan have arrived back in the UK. Peter and Barbie Reynolds arrived on a flight from the Qatari capital Doha, where they'd stayed for medical checks following their release yesterday. A 32-year-old man's been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder after 4 people were injured in a shooting at a nightclub in Birmingham this morning. West Midlands police say 1 man remains in hospital in a critical condition. 3 women in their 20s and 30s remain in custody on suspicion of violent disorder in connection with the incident. And Sinn Féin say they won't be fielding a candidate to be the next president of Ireland. Instead, the party leader, Mary Lou McDonald, says it will back the independent candidate, Catherine Connolly. The Irish presidential election will take place next month.
Radio 1
Dance. Your destination for non-stop dance.
with huge DJ sets
And massive dance bangers.
in their mix all day,
Every day.
And you just don't stop.
24/7 dance energy.
on Radio 1 Dance,
Listen on your smart speaker.
on BBC Sounds.
And now on DAB+.
This is 5 Live Sports with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Ryan Gravenberch and Hugo Ekitike got the Liverpool goals as they beat Everton 2-1 at Anfield at lunchtime. Idrissa Gana Gueye pulling one back for David Moyes' side. Here is the Everton boss.
We were much closer. Our performance in the second half was warranted to get something, certainly to win that half of the game anyway. But we'd just given them a bit too much in the first half. The second goal was a killer for us. There was a tackle on Ellie, which meant that he got freed up for the first goal. Let Kerkez run through and start to build it where we lost the first goal from.
Did you feel that was a foul?
Well, I've not seen it again. I couldn't really be sure. I need to see it, but I probably would have said at the time I didn't think it was a foul. But there was a lot of other things I could have said during the game, but I'll not if you don't mind. But anyway, look, boys done a decent job and never gave up. Showed a great deal of resilience.
I can't remember very often a free kick being taken before the referee's blown his whistle. I certainly can't remember someone getting booked for it.
Yeah, no, we can't either. But I think the bigger thing is the game seemed to be controlled totally by the referee. We couldn't start anything quick. We couldn't play. I've played plenty of games recently where teams are taking quick free kicks and it's not been the referee's whistle. So he never allowed us to get the game underway fast when we wanted to. I found it strange that it was only 3 minutes. I think if Liverpool were 2-1 down, I should say, not sure if 3 minutes would have been put up.
David Moyes, you can see extended highlights and all the analysis. Match of the day, 10:30 tonight on BBC One. Kelly will have Wayne Rooney and Danny Murphy alongside her. England have gone over in Bristol in the Rugby Union World Cup semi-final, but the TMO is looking at this because there's been about 8 ricochets in the build-up to this try, so good luck trying to work this out for them, Maz.
Well, exactly. That's why the TMO is taking so many looks at it, I think, and the referee as well. Tatiana Hurd did touch down under the posts, but it's come off her left hand at some point. It's come off a French defender as well, and you just might have heard there behind me the referee's mic. No try, so it's still France 5, England 7.
In the Premier League then, in the half-times, as they all get ready to get underway in the second half, there are some results which might have some half-time scores that could have some big bearings on certain people's future, particularly at West Ham, where Graham Potter's side trail Crystal Palace by 1-0. Leeds have had a very good first half. They went 1-0 down at Molineux, but came back to lead 3-1 at the break. Burnley and Nottingham Forest are level at 1-1. And you would say at the Amex as well, it is all to play for here. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1 with Michael Brown and Alistair Bruce-Ball.
Thank you, Mark. Welcome back, everyone, to the Amex Stadium under grey skies this afternoon. A little bit of light rain before kick-off, but that has disappeared. Brighton leading 2-1. And making a change at half-time, Michael Brown, it's not necessarily like for like either, is it? It's Diego Gomez, the Paraguayan, coming on for Carlos Baleba in midfield. Baleba didn't start the last game, did start today, has played 45 minutes today. There was lots of talk about him and a potential move in the summer, wasn't there? And I was chatting to a couple of Brighton fans before this game and was having the conversation with them about whether he's been able to fully focus on his football again for Brighton, whether that's played a part in this.
I think that's always difficult, isn't it? When you have an attention from other places, but generally the best players find a way just to produce week in, week out, and then when it happens, it does. But he contributed in that first half. He did some good things, so whether it's going to be injury, whether it's tactical, whether it's something that the manager's not happy that he's not dropping into positions that he should, but late challenge there in the middle, very quickly.
Yeah. A Brown-esque challenge. I'm gonna dare to say that. No, that's very harsh on you, actually, Michael. That's Kudus stretching for a ball, and I think he's caught Gomez, hasn't he? The sub who's just on, he's caught him, and he's got a yellow card.
There's nothing like feeling your way into a game with that coming right through your ankle, but he looks good. He's okay, thankfully. But it was a late challenge right in the centre of the pitch. If I can get a chance to come out, is that wasted? It is. They've got to be quicker. You've got to be much more cleaner with your passing early on. Don't just switch momentum when you don't have to.
Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. I'll run you through the two teams again in just a second. That's just the one change at half-time with Gomez on for Brighton. Latest from West Ham, early stages of the second half. Graham Potter under pressure, John Southall.
Here's Ali. West Ham 0, Crystal Palace 1. It could have been 2 though. Another corner on the right-hand side. This time Lacroix with the header smashed against the crossbar, and problems that the 9th corner they've had this afternoon, and everyone has caused problems for West Ham United. It is so quiet in here, Ali. Lots of empty seats. West Ham 0, Palace 1.
Udogie into the Brighton penalty area for Tottenham, looks to thread a ball through a whole load of blue-socked legs to try and find Bergvall running in at the far post. Couldn't quite do it. Tottenham all in black, change kit this afternoon, playing from left to right in the second half. Our commentary position just to the left of the tunnel, so if you know the Amex Stadium, you can put that picture in your heads. And Brighton, the home team, in the blue and white vertical stripes, blue shorts, blue socks, leading by 2-1. Palhinha is on the ball for Tottenham. Goal at Portsmouth, Sahel Sahi.
A second for Sheffield Wednesday, Alistair. It's Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. A break down the right-hand side. There was an injury for a Portsmouth centre-half, which allowed George Brown to run through into the penalty area and coolly convert. Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Straight back to the London Stadium, John Southall.
So often the saviour, Jared Bowen. West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 1. This time a West Ham corner on the right-hand side. Jared Bowen with a header into the bottom corner. West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 1.
I can see Jacob Greaves has been sent off for Ipswich away at Blackburn. That game remains 0-0. MK Dons have equalised against Accrington Stanley 1-1 in League 2. Latest from Molineux, Pat Murphy. Haven't got Pat there. Oh, there he is. Coming, Pat. No. Pat drifting in and out there. We'll get back to Molineux as soon as we can. Commentary on that game is on Sports Extra 2. Wolves 1, Leeds 3 at half-time. Ball towards Bergvall for Tottenham, trying to turn on the edge of the Brighton penalty area. And Brighton have managed to smuggle it away. And Mitoma is going to try and run away from Porro. Couldn't do that, and then hauls Porro to the floor. So that'll be a free kick for Tottenham. So Brighton have Verbruggen in goal, Veltman, Van Hecke, Dunk and Kadioglu as the back four. Gomez is now on for Baleba. Ayari in central midfield scored the stunning second. See that goal and match of the day tonight. BBC One at half-10. Minte, Gruder and Mitoma with Ruta through the middle. Van Hecker jumps to win a header on the edge of his own box and has had to concede a Tottenham corner early in the second half. Bentancur is down hurt. We're going to take you to Carrow Road. There's been a goal. Flo Pollock.
All level, Norwich 1, Wrexham 1. Issa Kabore got room down the right, crossed it in. Josh Windass fired at home. Norwich 1, Wrexham 1.
So Tottenham waiting to take the corner. They've started the second half with a spring in their step. Richarlison scored late in the first half to get them back in the game. And look who scored a hat-trick for Bayern Munich this afternoon. Another one from the penalty spot. Harry Kane is just standard. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
He just keeps doing it. You know, what an example to everybody. He's gone over there and he's just took it in his stride. He's Mr. Consistent.
Corner then for Tottenham. Michael Brown alongside us here at the Amex Stadium. You're listening to it on 5 Live, BBC Sounds and the BBC World Service. Tottenham corner's going to come in from the left. Black-shirted players making a run into the near post, headed away by Ruter. Kudus thought about the ambitious volley from the edge of the box and decided against it. Udogie plays back to his goalkeeper Vicario. Vicario in various shades of pink and purple in his goalkeeping outfit this afternoon. Mitoma decided to jump and win a header on the edge of his own penalty area. Did it bravely and did it well. And here's Minte, who felt he was held onto by Romero. Referee agrees and gives the free kick to Brighton. Cardiff-Bradford, big game in League One. There's been a goal. Owain Gwyneth.
Cardiff 0, Bradford 3. It was a positive start for Cardiff, but Bradford have broken down the left-hand side, played it across the box, and Josh Neufville coming in from the right-hand side all alone and taps it home. Cardiff 0, Bradford 3.
So Bradford with a win and a convincing win, going top of League One, a couple of points clear of Lincoln, who beat Luton by 3-1 in one of the lunchtime kickoffs earlier on. Udogie up to Richarlison, struggles to hold on to it. Brighton have won it back. It's a real tussle between these two at the moment. Dunk nearly took too long on that. Kudus came flying in to try and win it. Kudus now on the yellow card as well. Got to be a little bit careful with the challenges. 6 minutes into the second half, and Brighton leading Tottenham 2-1. Here's Burkval. Burkval rolls a pass down the right. Dunk enjoyed that challenge. Free hit on Kudus there. Got the ball, got the man. He's actually hurt himself a little bit, Dunk. Took a whack on his right foot and goes hobbling back into position. Tottenham have taken their throw, and Thomas Frank, I can see, is in conversation with members of his coaching staff here. I wonder whether he's potentially contemplating an early change in the second half. We were talking before the game about the options that he has from the bench. Odegaard started the game. Here he is, zipping down the left, nearly finds Burkval at the near post. Good defending by Dunk, read the danger and got a foot in for Brighton.
Yeah, Odegaard really good. It's a little step over, used the space. Good delivery across the face. Bergvall's got those runs, but the defenders are in the right position. This is where they're good, Brighton.
Yeah, on the counter, flying forward. Ruter, options left and right, tries to find Mitoma with the pass through the middle. Romero got a foot on it and just did enough for Tottenham. Porro prods it forward to Burkval. Burkval back to Porro, chips it to the right. Kudus chests it down. Kadioglu barges into the back of him. He's so strong, Kudus. Defenders just bounce off him, don't they?
Honestly, I like what he does. He just moves it really quickly. He's happy if there's contact. He knows where the space is. He's being good. He's waiting for a chance, though. He needs something at the end of it.
Leyton Orient equaliser in League One. Away to Reading. Reading 1, Leyton Orient 1. Bentancur feeds Burkval, having a good season for Tottenham. Wide to Kudus, looking for his first Tottenham goal. More in a position to cross here, has the beating of Kadioglu, tries to beat him again. Turkish international gets a foot on the ball and it goes behind for a Tottenham corner. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1. The Jared Bowen equaliser early in the second half has it at West Ham 1, Palace 1. And Leeds 3-1 up away to Wolves. More commentaries coming your way from the Premier League tomorrow on BBC Sounds, on 5 Live stream, on the Sports Extra stream too. Corner here then for Tottenham. Kudus takes it with his left foot deep to the far post. It's over the head of Richarlison, who's fouled Dunk, and that will be a free kick to Brighton. So 2 o'clock tomorrow on 5 Live. Sunderland against Aston Villa in full. Bournemouth Newcastle, commentary of that on Sports Extra. Arsenal Manchester City, the big Premier League game of the weekend. Ian Dennis and Rob Green will bring you that Sunday at 4:30, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix from midday on Sports Extra tomorrow. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. Here's Verbruggen passing out from the back. Brilliant turn by Ruter to lose Romero. Then he looks for the Early ball wide right to Minte. Minte goes hurtling down that right-hand touchline. Udogie's got pace too, sticks with him, wins it, passes forward. Polinia tackled inside the Tottenham half, fouled by Ayari. Romero tries to get the ball off him as quickly as he can. Turns into a bit of a pushing and a pulling and a bit of childish to and fro. Then Gruder steps in, and they're just trying to frustrate Tottenham here, Brian.
Romero's so easy as well, isn't he? Do you know, like, you'd be the one you just go on then, him and Richarlison, but on the way through the middle again, Bentancur's got to really drive, challenges the pressing really quick, Brighton.
First goal of the afternoon at Doncaster in League One, Betty Glover.
Finally, this game has come alive. Doncaster 1, Wimbledon 0. Doncaster have got the opener. This place is rocking now. The corner was swung in. Captain Bailey was there to head it into the top right-hand corner. Nothing the keeper could do. Doncaster 1, Wimbledon 0.
Doncaster will be at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Wednesday, taking Tottenham on in the third round of the League Cup. Brighton away to Barnsley. This game, though, is Brighton-Tottenham. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. Corner for Tottenham coming. Colchester have equalised against Bristol Rovers in League 2, and Port Vale lead 10-man Mansfield Town 1-0. Devontae Cole has scored the goal for Port Vale. Porro is over on the left for Tottenham, waiting to take the corner. Tottenham players gathered at the far post. Porro's taking his time, jogs to the ball, curls that ball to the far post. Verbruggen leapt, he was all on his own, decided to punch it away to the left. Mitoma tried to run it down that left wing. Burkvale's not falling for that. Wins it off Mitoma, brings it forward for Tottenham. Outside of his right foot, he's overhit the cross, and it's going to go behind for the Brighton goal kick. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. Thoughts from Michael Brown?
Burkvale does very well. He initially gets it back and he drives inside. There's good overlap runs. It's given him the space. He tries the outside of his foot. He wasn't really sure. I think he could just travel and look to try and get a left foot shot away, but again, too fat, and it just drifts out on that back post area.
Goal in our featured game in League 2. The leader Swindon away to Salford. I'll take you there in a second because Richarlison's nearly in. No, he's not. The pass is beyond him. It finds Verbruggen. Let's bring in Mark Webber.
Salford 2, Swindon 1. Finlay Moreau with the cross in, and Aaron Drinan bobbling it in the area. Terrible conditions to control the ball, but he did. Salford 2, Swindon 1.
Creative spark coming for Tottenham. Dutch international Xavi Simons waiting to come on. Porro's cross deep. It's beyond Richarlison. It is beyond Odebear, and again it goes bouncing behind for the goal kick to Brighton. But Thomas Frank is whirling his right arm in the air to say to his Tottenham players, keep it going, keep it going. We can get back into this game. Another goal at Norwich. Flo Pollock.
Wrexham have come from behind. Norwich 1, Wrexham 2. Space down the right again. Ball across. Ryan Longman with the finish. Norwich 1, Wrexham 2.
Barrow have taken the lead against Crewe. Barrow have lost their last 3 games in League 2. Isaac Fletcher scored. Barrow 1, Crewe 0. Romero intercepts inside the Brighton half. Leaves Ruter behind him. Now looks for an option. Burkvale is there on the right, just outside the Brighton box. Polinia makes the run on the outside. He couldn't find him with the pass. Kadioglu tries to clear. Polinia slides in and blocks. The ball bounces high down by the dead ball line. Very scrappy down there. Kadioglu volleys it away. Gruder chests it down. Tottenham's bench appeals for a handball, not given. Porro battling for the ball, takes it off Gruder. He's fouled Gruder, but the decision came late. You don't often see Thomas Frank lose his cool, but he is livid because he was right there. He was right on top of that challenge. And now the fourth official, Tom Neild, is just trying to calm the Tottenham manager down. We'll check in at Molineux. Pat Murphy.
It's still 3-1 to Leeds, but just now Munetsi of Wolves had a great chance, 10 yards out, left foot shot, fine low save by Darlow. But Wolves 1, Leeds 3 is still the score.
Oh, Dunk is shooting from inside his own half with a free kick, and it sails over the bar. What an audacious, outrageous effort that was, and he wasn't that far from pulling it off. Goal kick Tottenham. Latest at West Ham, John Southall.
West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 1. It's a different West Ham in this second half since the goal went in. Bone on the right of the area, saved by Henderson. At the other end, Mateta with a header over from 6 yards out. Good game. West Ham 1, Palace 1.
Todd Cantwell's penalty has given Blackburn the lead against Ipswich. Jacob Greaves has been sent off for Ipswich. Blackburn lead 1-0. Michael Brown, that's the thing with this 3 o'clock commentary on a Saturday. I keep thinking, got to get Michael in, then we're bouncing around everywhere.
There's lots of goals, it's good, but Dunk there, there's a free kick just in front of the technical area in his own half. He obviously has a little look, sees Vicario off his line, he hits it so clean, It's heading towards. I'm going to try to nudge you quickly as you're trying to get all the scores in. Just hits the top of the netting. It would have been special, but it wasn't to be. Great effort.
Xavi Simons about to come on for Tottenham. We're told that Bentancur is the man that is going to come off. The ball is cleared from inside the Brighton half. Minte won't be able to chase that down and keep it in, so that'll be a throw-in for Tottenham in the left-back position.
You know, you were just talking about the frustration of the bench. Chris Kavanagh there, his position is not great to be giving free kicks. He's got to come across, he's got to open the line so he can see it correctly. The staff were going mad that he give another soft foul.
Possible chance for Brighton. Mitoma pokes it into the feet of Rutter just inside the Tottenham penalty area. A little step over, tries to go on the outside with his left foot. Porro, good defending, blocks his path back to Vicario. Cleared, Dunk chests it down inside his own half. Getting close to 500 first team appearances for Lewis Dunk. 491st today. Richarlison has bumped into a Brighton player as they were waiting for a ball to drop out of the sky here. You can hear what the Brighton fans thinking. Off. It's Kadioglu who is down. He is holding his throat. What did you see of that, Michael?
I tell you what I see. Thomas Frank just maybe said something of a swear word that I maybe can't repeat towards the Brighton manager Ursula about him getting involved to try and get Richarlison into trouble. The referee's having a little look at it. Thomas Frank's view was very, very strong. That's when you see about two managers can get involved in a little something very, very quickly. And there wasn't too much in it.
Yeah. Xavi Simons comes on for Bentancur. Half-time at Ashton Gate. World Cup semi-final in the Women's Rugby World Cup. Maz Faruqi.
What were we saying about England having not been tested so far at this tournament? They have certainly felt the first 40 of this semi-final, but they are on course for the World Cup final in 7 days' time as it stands. Half-time, France 5, England 7.
James Milner is waiting to come on for Brighton to make his 642nd Premier League appearance at the age of 39. I was looking at all the pen pics of the players on the website at this game. He has got the squarest jaw. James Milner's face, it's like did you ever read Desperate Dan in the Dandy back in the day? Or am I too old?
I think you're about 15 years old.
Yeah, I think I am, Michael.
Do you know,
he used to eat cow pie, Desperate Dan.
Yeah, well, I don't really know it.
Okay, we'll leave that alone.
We've just mentioned Harry Kane about in this country about examples of players. I'll wait, I'll let you see this.
Yeah, okay, here's Gruder on the ball for Brighton, goes down. He's not looking for a penalty there. He did just lose his footing. Rutter comes in to help out, manages to scramble the ball back from the dead ball, and Ayari right-footed. A couple of yards wide, has already scored one screamer this afternoon. Try to pull it off a second time. Go on, Michael.
No, it was a great effort actually, just whizzing past that far side of the post, Ayari, but always going wide. But you talk about James Milner from the age of 16, a total dedication, a professional to right to the end, the way he details his body, the way he trains, the way he sets out. No wonder his career has gone as far as has, not necessarily the one with the most ability.
Hull leads Southampton 2-0. John Lundstrom has scored. Another goal at Norwich. Flo Pollock.
Norwich have fallen apart. Norwich 1, Wrexham 3. Josh Windass just inside the box. Beautiful curling effort. Norwich 1, Wrexham 3.
So James Milner waits to come on for Brighton. 17 minutes gone in the second half. 5 Live, BBC Sounds and the World Service. You're listening to this on. Earlier on today, Liverpool beat Everton 2-1 in the Premier League. I'll give you the latest Premier League scores in a minute because there has been a first goal in the Scottish League Cup quarter-final at Pittodrie. Gavin Wallace.
And it goes to Motherwell, Ali. Regan Charles-Cook on the edge of the box. He was laid off and just let out this howitzer of a ball into the top corner. Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 1.
So Milner is on. Liverpool beat Everton 2-1. Brighton lead Tottenham 2-1 here. It is Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham 1, Palace 1, and Leeds 3-1 up at Wolves. Commentary of that game is over on Sports Extra 2. Milner came on for Gruder, thank you. Turn from Kudus here, bringing it forward for Tottenham. Finds Udogie running forward in the inside left channel. Little 1-2 with Odebear. Udogie's ball into the feet of Richarlison, back to Udogie. Important challenge made by Veltman. He hasn't quite got this ball away. Back to the edge of the box, and the right-footed drive is wide. It was Simons who hit it first time, and it had real fizz on it, but it was well wide of the target.
They're trying to find an angle through. Udogie, Richarlison finally comes to Simons, and expecting more because of the quality he has. He sort of has to wait for him to come across his body just on the edge of the penalty area to the left. He has to strike across it. It drifts away from the far post.
Rotherham 0, Stockport 1 in League 1. Walsall have a third against Tranmere. Walsall 3, Tranmere 1. Romero heads the ball up in the air. Van der Ven nods it back here to Udogie. What's he going to decide to do? He's going to play it back to Vicario. Ruter is close by. Vicario swipes it away with his right foot. Kudus chests it down. It gets away from him, and it's gone out for a throw to Tottenham. Team news from Old Trafford. We've got commentary on Manchester United against Chelsea. It kicks off at 5:30. Here's Conor McNamara.
Yes, much made of how Ruben Amorim never changes his system, but you know, he's never named an unchanged team in the Premier League. 2 alterations today. Harry Maguire comes in for Euro in defence, and Casemiro comes back in place of Ugarte in midfield. There were 4 changes for Chelsea from their last league game, the draw against Brentford last weekend. Cucurella and James come in as the fullbacks, and the starts for Palmer and Estevao.
Thank you, Conor. He had us going there for a second, Michael. I thought he was going to say Ruben Amorim has changed his system, but we know he's never going to do that. Brighton have intercepted a Tottenham attack inside the Brighton half. Sliding challenge from Burkvall. He wins 2 tackles, important ones for Tottenham. Kudus speeds away from Kadioglu. Now he's going to take on Dunk. Drops a shoulder, moves inside, feeds it to Simon. Simon slides the pass through. Here's Burkvall, the first touch. He tried to tee up for the shot. He's tackled by Van Hecke. It's behind for a Tottenham corner.
I've been waiting to see Burkvall in full flow. He wins it in the middle with a strong challenge, then another. He doesn't just stop, he continues. Here they go.
Corner taken quickly, short to Porro. Porro's cross is blocked by a leaping Ruter. Dundee 2, Livingston 0. Only 3 o'clock kickoff in the Scottish Premiership this afternoon. In the League Cup quarter-finals, Motherwell are 1-0 up away to Aberdeen. Rangers Hibs kicks off at 5:45. Barnet 2, Grimsby 0. In League 2. You're up to date. Kylian Mbappe has scored for Real Madrid. They lead Espanyol 2-0. Harry Kane has a hat-trick for Bayern Munich this afternoon. 25 minutes to play in the second half. It's a great watch, this game. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. Throw in from Burkvall. Long one into the box. Headed away by Ruter. Drops at the feet of Odebear, former Burnley man. Passes it to his right to Porro. Feeds it out to Burkvall. Left-footed cross comes in, deflected. Kudus trying to bring it down. It was up sort of hip height and he couldn't control it with his left foot. Minte goes tearing down the right to keep the clearance in play. Brings it infield. Finds Milner. Milner quite happy to let Minte do the running. Lofts a pass down the right. Minte gets onto the end of it. Trying to turn Udogie here. Udogie wins the ball, no free kick given. Another goal at West Ham, John Southall.
West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 2. Of all people, Tyrone Mitchell on the left of the penalty area, on the swivel, on the volley, flew into the net. Graham Potter stands in his technical area. That is a blow for him. West Ham had 2 chances. Palace get the second. West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 2.
Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. Here's Richarlison, plays the ball back to the left. Bit of Tottenham pressure at the moment here. João Palhinha. Across to Romero, 35 yards out, right in the middle of the Brighton half. Chesterfield 2-1 up at Bromley in League 2. Odebear's received it on the left-hand side. Thought about a cross, back to Simons. Simons' cross is closed down quickly by Milner. Van der Ven battles with Minte to win the header. Udogie side foots a pass to Simons. Brilliant first touch, gets him moving. Diagonal run to the edge of the area. Low shot, nearly found the bottom corner of Verbruggen. Stretches out a long left arm, palms it behind for the corner. Michael Brown.
Brilliant play, steps inside from that wide left. He has one thing in his mind, is committing. He sees that far corner, it's a difficult skill. He just lends it right into the far corner. It was accurate, a really strong left hand.
Great save from Bart Verbruggen. Corner for Tottenham. Quarter of this game left to play. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. Tottenham starting the day third in the Premier League with 3 wins from 4 games. Kudus' delivery to the far post. Dunk heads it away. Odebear nods it back into the Brighton penalty area. Slight miscue from Milner. Gets lucky. Minte opts for the back heel. Milner reads it. Passes forward to Mitoma, and Brighton swarming down the left-hand side with Minte. Closed down by Udogie. Good work for Tottenham. And then the ball bounces to him. Passes back to Vicario. Dreadful clearance from the Tottenham keeper. Straight at Ayari. And Tottenham are under pressure again, and the Brighton fans are getting on top of them as well. Here's Veltman. Backheels the ball to himself. Finds Milner. Milner to Van Hecke, and the ball is back with Brighton on the halfway line. Let's check in at Turf Moor. Julia Bold.
It's still Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1. It has been the home side that have been well on top this second half. Jayden Anthony's had a couple of efforts saved. Forest really struggling. We've got torrential rain here as well. Ange Postecoglou with his hood up. The water's running off the front of it in his technical area. Just looking a bit concerned. Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
Barnet 3, Grimsby 0. Another goal for Namdi off a ball there. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. What's happening at Molineux? Pat Murphy.
It's still Wolves 1, Leeds 3, and the Wolves fans getting very disaffected now. Some uncomplimentary remarks about the board and also chanting, "We are going down." Leeds lead, Wolves lead. Wolves 3-1, Alistair.
Yeah, thank you, Pat. Wolves heading for a 5th consecutive defeat at the start of this Premier League season. Here's Kudus using his pace, has the beating of Kadioglu again. Cut back into the penalty area. Simon's shot, he's dragged it wide. Good chance for Tottenham that, and it fell to the man you wanted it to fall to, and he couldn't stick it away. Let's take you to Doncaster, Wimbledon. Betty Glover.
Doncaster 1, Wimbledon 1. Wimbledon have their equaliser just after they scuffed a brilliant chance. It came from a corner. Johnson got his head to it. He got highest and he steered it just inside that far post. Doncaster 1, Wimbledon 1.
Thank you, Betty. Goal kick taken by Brighton, ball given away. Home fans getting a little bit nervous here. Burke-Val to Kudus on the right, 20 minutes to play. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. Kudus again wiggles the ball onto his left foot, curls the cross in, Dunk heads it away. Only as far as Udogi. Attacking position for Tottenham on the left. Odebear finds Polinia. Polinia chips one into the penalty area. Simons tries to chase, but it runs away from him and goes behind. For another Brighton goal kick. Here comes another attacking change for Tottenham, Michael.
Yeah, Brennan Johnson, he can certainly add pace and power. Kudos down the right hand side a second ago does very well. He pushes the ball right across rather than the face. He can see Simmons is coming towards the edge of the area, but I think maybe Milner just tries to just get something on it, maybe just puts him off his stride as he pulls it wide, but it's a big opportunity for someone who you'd have expected to hit the target.
Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. Full commentary of Manchester United Chelsea on the way at half. Sports report with Mark Chapman from 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock there or thereabouts. That can be a bit of a movable feast depending on how much added time there is in some of these games this afternoon. Brennan Johnson is coming on for Wilson Odebear. He's made his first start of the season for Tottenham today. Johnson's been in, he was Tottenham's top scorer last year, always seems to be in amongst the goals, started this season well, and then in the last couple of games just found himself out of the team.
The competition's so tough, that's what we mentioned in the build-up today regarding what options Thomas Frank has. He'll be able to rotate the different games, the Champions League, everybody's going to be needed, but most players can adapt to that and understand when they don't play or they need to be playing more regularly, and he'll be one who'll be itching to get on the score sheet here.
Tyrese Hall has made it Notts County 2, Crawley 0 in League 2. Brighton have won a throw wide on the left. This time next week we'll be right in the middle of the Ryder Cup as well as all the football next weekend. Starts on Friday. Coverage from midday on 5 Live. Big preview shows on Monday and Thursday. An absolute cracker of a Ryder Cup, so do enjoy it on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Burke-Val is fouled, free kick Tottenham in the middle of their own half. That was fairly cynical from Gomez, he gets booked.
Yeah, it was. Have you been practising your quiet voice for when they're all on the green? You know, that little softly spoken.
I always whisper.
I always have a little look at the whisper, wondering if it's too loud or not. You get a little stare.
I've had a few in my time. Yeah, there was one at St Andrews once, not in the Ryder Cup, at the Open Championship, where there's shared greens there, so you're watching golfers on the same green, but you're only concentrating on one match. And I had the headphones on and I couldn't really hear what I was doing properly. I was shouting at the top of my voice about a putt that had gone in my game, and I turned around and Jose Maria Olazabal just giving me an absolute death stare. Danny Welbeck is waiting to come on here for Brighton. Looks like it's going to be a double change. Diego Coppola, the 21-year-old Italian defender signed from Verona, just crossing himself at the moment, getting ready to come on and join the fray. And time is ticking away for Tottenham. 17 minutes plus added time remaining. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. Wickham 2, Northampton 0. Ollie McBurney's got a third for Hull at home to Southampton in the Championship. Here's Udogi, finds Richarlison. Richarlison slides a pass to his right. Intercepted by Kadioglu, but Kudus immediately has it back for Tottenham. Tries to take him on the outside, has the beating of him. Dummies the cross, lays it back. And that was well read there by Ayari, in the right position to intercept the pass. Romero and Ruta having a real physical battle there. Both had a handful of each other's shirts. Romero went in hard, won the ball, no free kick. Ruta didn't like the challenge, and Romero went back for afters, had a word with him when he was down on the floor, didn't he?
Tasty, good challenge. Was it too strong? Was it against the laws of the game? But now you laugh at me.
I love the way you asked the rhetorical question. Was it too strong? Was it?
There's the return. Romero sucked in. There was a little push. Not much, but the referee decides on this one it is, because it always thinks that you retaliate in the second you go even tighter. But Romero's aware of it, and he knows it. Just fall down, the referee will give it. He's those substitutions.
Dundee 2, Livingston 1. So Livingston have got a goal back. Accrington 2-1 up away to MK Dons in League 2. Jorginho Ruta is going to be replaced by Danny Welbeck. I thought the manager Fabian Hertzler was quite blunt about Danny Welbeck's form. He's been left out of the team today and has just been, well, very honest. Just saying he's, not in his best form at the moment, but here he is, comes on, 15 minutes to play, chance to make an impact.
If you've ever seen a manager line up a drop to let all the fans and everybody know is one of those who sort of said, well, the reason why I'm going to drop him this weekend is because he's just not done enough. But this guy certainly contributed today. We didn't even get time to mention when we went off somewhere else. There was a little flick inside and a cheeky little nutmeg, and he gets inside. Then there's a back heel a minute later that set off a promising attack. He's disappointed of it coming off, but he's done very, very well.
Right, we're going to see what Tottenham can do with the free kick, and then we're going to take you to Bramall Lane. Not heard too much from Chris Coles this afternoon. Chris Wilder back in charge of Sheffield United. They're at home against Charlton. Whistle blows here for the free kick. Porro has both arms in the air for Tottenham. Coppola on for Minte. Low free kick out to the right to the danger man Kudus. Back to Porro. That is whipped in viciously to the far post. Stooping header away. Controlled by Simons. Simons plays it back to Udogie, who flicks it over the head of Diego Gomez to find Simons again. Simons to Udogie. Brighton sitting deep. They're leading 2-1. Udogie's overrun it. Brighton might be able to come on the counter. Gomez is going to chase from the halfway line. Udogie's running at him, and Gomez tries a shot from a long way out, drags it well wide of the target. It's behind for the goal kick. Coming Chris Coles at Bramall Lane.
There's a reason you've not heard much from me, Ali. Not much is happening. Sheffield United 0, Charlton 0. The Blades still on top, but they're just not creating anywhere near enough to trouble a resilient Charlton defence. Sheffield United 0, Charlton 0.
One of Michael Brown's former clubs, of course. Portsmouth, Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship. Sohail Sahi.
Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, 10 minutes to play, and the visitors look like they're going to get their first win of this season at the 6th attempt. They look very comfortable. Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Portsmouth, another one of Michael Brown's former clubs. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1. What's happening at Norwich? Flo Pollock.
Wrexham still lead Norwich 3-1. Norwich look very out of ideas. Wrexham the more likely to get another goal. Norwich 1, Wrexham 3.
Kudus trying to wiggle his way past Brighton defenders, nearly did it as well. Kadioglu's had a really tough time against him this afternoon. Needed help there. He's cleared the ball down the left-hand touchline. Brighton leading 2-1. 13 minutes plus added time remaining, and Brighton under a bit of pressure at the moment. And Xavi Simons has dropped deep, and he's working as the sort of conductor of the orchestra here to try and make it happen for Tottenham. Porro on the ball, 40 yards out, diagonal cross aimed at Johnson, no good. Behind it goes for the goal kick. Another one of our featured games in the Championship is Derby Preston. Will Perry.
Derby 0, Preston 1. Really poor from John Eustace's side in the first half. The Pride Park natives restless, but £7 million signing Patrick Adjemang on at the break. He's been denied by the outstretched Everson leg. Much better from Derby. Derby 0, Preston 1.
Earlier on today in the Championship, Birmingham 1, Swansea 0. Leicester and Coventry finished goalless, and Stoke lost away to QPR at Loftus Road. QPR 1, Stoke 0. Middlesbrough beat West Brom in the Friday night game by 2-1. They are top of the table. In the 3 o'clock kickoffs, Blackburn leading Ipswich by 1-0. Jacob Greaves sent off for Ipswich, and Hull comfortably ahead at home against Southampton. Mitoma's taking it off Porro into the Tottenham area. He goes. Romero's back, gets his body in the way and makes a crucial intervention. Vicario picks it up and rolls it out to Mickey van der Ven. Second half in the Women's Rugby World Cup semi-final underway at Ashton Gate. Maz Faruqi.
And Abidal thought she'd cross for the first score of the second half, but the referee took it back instead. It's a France scrum. We played 2.5 minutes of the second half. It's still France 5, England 7.
In League 2, Notts County 3, Crawley Town 0. That rugby semi-final sounds tight. Commentary on Sports Extra. You can watch it on BBC One. What else have we got? Bromley 2, Chesterfield 2, and a goal at Cardiff now. Owen Gwyneth.
Cardiff City back in this one, maybe. Cardiff City 1, Bradford City 3. Cardiff throwing the ball in from a free kick into the box. The defence not dealing with the ball. The ball lands to Callum Robinson, who smashes into the roof of the net. Cardiff 1, Bradford 3.
Tottenham attacking down the left. Bradford going top of League One above Lincoln, who won in one of the lunchtime kickoffs earlier on today. They beat Luton 3-1. It was Bolton 4, Wigan 1, Blackpool 1, Barnsley 0. Step over from Simons. Is Richarlison on the same wavelength? Not quite. He was trying to get there, but Brighton have managed to clear it away. Under some pressure here, Brighton. Looking for a second Premier League win of the season, having lost both games away from home. Leading Tottenham 2-1, Ayari. Back it comes to Verbruggen. Verbruggen inside his 6-yard box, puts plenty on that away to the right. It clears the head of Udogie. Welbeck is onto it for Brighton. Good ball into midfield for Milner. Slides it through for Mitoma. Vicario Kane. He's gone back. Chance for Brighton. Mitoma's cross to the far post. Kadioglu couldn't quite get there on the slide. The angle was tight. It comes off his right foot and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Milner involved. He tries to get Mitoma away. He's trying to beat that line. Goalkeeper arcs his run across. Vicario decides to stay away. Good ball across, but it was always going to be too much. But it's open again. This is what we want to see. Fans are happy.
Yeah, wide open. Welbeck to Gomez, back to Welbeck, dances round Romero. Palhinha, crunching challenge on Welbeck, who goes toppling over. Fair challenge though. Simons gliding forward with the ball at his feet. This is what Tottenham fans want to see. Feeds it to Richarlison into the penalty area, hits the shot. Weak one straight at the goalkeeper Verbruggen, who gets down and makes the save. Stevenage 2, Exeter 1. Jordan Roberts has Stevenage back in front in League One. 10 minutes left. And most of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, all of the 3 o'clock kickoffs up and down the country. So we'll run you through all of the scores as we go. Brighton 2, Tottenham 1 in the Premier League. Still Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham 1, Palace 1, Leeds 3-1 up at Wolves. Those are the latest. Manchester United, Chelsea on the way in full. Here on 5 Live this evening, to be followed by Chris Sutton and Roman Kemp taking your calls on 606. Porro passes the ball across the halfway line to Romero. Walking pace, Tottenham just sort of stealing themselves, taking a breath. Palhinha, low pass out to Udogie, down the left-hand touchline to Brennan Johnson, who's not seen much action since coming onto the field. Thomas Frank possibly thinking about another change. Romero forward to Simons. Simons just swerves away from the first challenge and curls a delicious pass onto the instep of Kudus. Kudus is cross in, looking for the flick on. It's into the back of the net, and João Palhinha goes running behind the goal to celebrate with the Tottenham fans. I think it's an own goal. I think it's Van Hecker who's got the final touch there. But the point was, the cross was dangerous. It needed dealing with, and Van Hecker was unable to do so. Tottenham are 2-0 down here. It's now 2-2. Brighton 2, Tottenham 2.
Simmons in the middle of the pitch. He moves it around, he plays it quickly with intent, and then as the ball comes inside, Kudus on that left foot fizzes it really, really quickly. That curly one where you're thinking if no one gets it, it's going to go into the back post. Palhinha doesn't get it, and at that point it just hits Van Hecker. It goes in the near post, not the far post. Goalkeeper left stranded. Game on now as the rain pours. Lots of action down on the technical area. Oh, it's been a great game.
Well, producer George said it first half last season. Tottenham 2-0 up, lost the game 3-2 today. Brighton 2-0 up. Now Tottenham have pegged them back to 2-2. Palhinha went for the flick on the cross, didn't get it, but the ball was travelling on the perfect trajectory. It hit Van Hecker, nothing he could do about it, and ended up in the back of the net. Goal at Doncaster, Betty Glover.
Doncaster 1, Wimbledon 2. Wonderful, well taken goal. Hippolyte received the ball in the area, spins inside the area, arrows it home into that top corner. A deserved lead for Wimbledon. Doncaster were caught napping. Doncaster 1, Wimbledon 2.
Danny Welbeck shoots, that's deflected by Porro. The ball's loose inside the Tottenham area. Bergvall steams in, wins it for Tottenham. Could be anyone's game this in the last 7 minutes or so. Kudus speeding away down the right, he's overrun it. Dunk makes the challenge. Kudus has trodden on Dunk. Dunk's in some pain there, hobbling away. He's caught knee. I think they banged knees together there, and Dunk is struggling, but Brighton have the ball and they continue to attack. Here's Mitoma, sliding challenge, strong one by Romero. It runs to Richarlison in the pouring rain here at Brighton. Simons gets onto the ball for Tottenham in the centre circle. Udogie, plenty of space on the left-hand side, outside of the right foot from Simons, and he finds Udogie. So Blackburn leading Ipswich 1-0 in the Championship. Preston 1-up at Derby. Hull 3-0 up on Southampton. Tottenham breaking into that Brighton box. Simons goes down. Christopher Kavanagh has a look, decides that is not a penalty, and he's going to give Brighton the goal kick. Wrexham 3-1 up at Norwich. Sheffield Wednesday 2-0 up at Portsmouth, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Charlton 0. Tried Ashton Gate, Masfaruqi.
They needed this. England's second try from a rolling maul. Amy Cockayne bundling over, and the conversion has been slotted. They've been under such pressure, but it's now France 5, England 14.
Another goal at Salford, Mark Webber.
Yeah, Beckham not smiling now because it's Salford 2, Swindon 2, a ball in from the corner, a bundled area, and Tom Wilson-Brown managed to tap it home to make it Salford 2, Swindon 2.
Another change being made here. Mats Vifa's going to come on for Kadioglu. The video assistant referee, Michael Brown, is having a look at the challenge on Xavi Simons. Neil Davis is at Stockley Park. Brighton 2, Tottenham 2. You've had a look on the monitor. What do you think?
He darts it to the box, Simons, and Coppola's coming across tight. He realises he's not getting it. What he tries to do, in my opinion, is get his foot across to engineer the contact. We've seen a few of those in the last week where they've got away with it. Maybe they've gone under the radar and people say you shouldn't get too tight. Is it clever? Is it cheating? He's tried to get in front. His legs go. He's staying down, so let him have a little look. Not for me.
Not for you, there we go. So rhetorical questions, but in the end you are saying that is not a penalty. Wimbledon 2-1 up away to Doncaster. We've just heard about that. Livingston have got it back to 2-2 in the Scottish Premiership. Liam Fraser has scored for Reading. Reading 2, Leyton Orient 1. And we've just heard about the Swindon equaliser at Salford as well. Let's take you down the rest of the League One scores. I've given the scores from earlier on today in the lunchtime kickoffs. In our featured game, Bradford going top of the table, 3-1 up at Cardiff. Wimbledon 2-1 up at Doncaster, as I said. Huddersfield 0, Burton 0. Peterborough looking to make it back-to-back wins, 1 up at Plymouth. Port Vale 1, Mansfield 0. Ryan Sweeney sent off for Mansfield in the first half there. Reading leading Leyton Orient 2-1, as I just said. Stockport 1 up away to Rotherham. Stevenage 2, Exeter 1. Wickham 2, Northampton 0. 86th minute of the game here at the Amex Stadium. Brighton 2, Tottenham 2. Fabulous entertainment. Gomez is crossing. Chance for Ayari, went for the flying volley. Headed behind in the end by Polinia, and that is a corner to Brighton. I've got a feeling we're getting another goal here.
I hope so. Welbeck gets in his way. There's a great run down the right-hand side. It's just dinked into the middle, and he's about to go with like one of those side footers, and he's unsure whether Welbeck's going to go for it. And then there's that delay and wait. It's too high for him. He's covered some ground as it hits him on the knee. It wasn't spectacular. He's had one of those efforts already.
League Two scores on the way in a second. Let's see what Brighton can do with the corner. James Milner is going to take it in the blue and white stripes from the right wing. An away swinger. Burkvale leaps, heads it away. Ayari miscues on the volley. It falls to Udogie. He's under pressure from Gomez. Gomez blocks the clearance, and it goes out for a Tottenham throw in the right back position. Cambridge United 2, Fleetwood 1, Harrogate Town 2, Shrewsbury 0. Results from earlier on today in League 2. In fact, it's a Brighton throw in an attacking position. They've taken it quickly here. Milner's ball, Welbeck can't control it, comes through to Vicario. So latest in the 3 o'clock kickoffs in League 2. Barnet 3, Grimsby 0, Barrow 1, Crewe 0, Bromley 2, Chesterfield 2, Oldham 2-0 up at Cheltenham, Colchester 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Accrington 2-1 up at MK Dons, Gillingham 3-1 up at Newport, Notts County 3, Crawley 0, Salford and Swindon 2-2 as we've been telling you, Walsall 3, Tranmere 1. That is a foul on Karu Mitoma, and that is a yellow card for, was it?
Who do you think? I'll give you a guess.
I'm going to go Christian Romero.
Yeah, Romero, yeah. Romero goes tight. I didn't think there was too much contact. There was a little bit as Spurs look to make these last few changes. Now an opportunity for Brighton. Central free kick. It's open, this game, if it's going to be the winner. Obviously, George, our producer, said very, very early that he could see a swing. He's had a lot of time to think about his football, to study it, hasn't he, to be fair to him, while he's not been with us. So, Are we going to get it? Are we going to get late drama here?
Jed Spence, Archie Gray come on, Porro and Burkevale off. 89th minute of the game, Brighton 2, Tottenham 2, 10-man Mansfield with a late equaliser at Port Vale. That is 1-1. Brighton free kick. James Milner, hands on hips. What's he going to do with it? It's right in the middle of the Tottenham half. He's going to curl it to his left, towards Welbeck. Welbeck volleys it to the back of the area. Gomez has a swing and a miss from the edge of the box. Simons has the ball at his feet. Tackled by Vifa for Brighton. Udogie tries to win it back for Tottenham. He can't do that. Goes wide to the right to Vifa. He's going to pass it back to the halfway line. Milner plays it across to Lewis Dunk. Dunk to Milner again. Brighton looking to launch something late on. And Fabian Herzler, the manager, is out barking the instructions. Cross comes in, bounces once inside that Tottenham penalty area. Jed Spence on in the right back position for Tottenham. Udogie continues as left back. Did Matoma run that out of play? No. He's managed to turn and face up against Spence. Gets the low cross in. Romero clears with his right foot. Late goal at Sheffield United, Chris Coles.
The Chris Wilder return does not have a happy ending. Charlton have snatched it right at the death. Low ball in. Second half sub, Isaac Olafay tapping home. Sheffield United 0, Charlton 1.
90th minute of the game here at the Amex. Brighton 2, Tottenham 2. Are we able to check in at Molineux? That was the plan. Pat Murphy, are you there?
I certainly am, Alistair, and it's still 3-1 to Leeds. 5 substitutions from either side, but Darlow in the Leeds goal holding firm despite a fair amount of pressure. It's Wolves 1, Leeds 3.
Sports report on the way at 5 o'clock. All the reports and the post-match reaction before commentary of Manchester United Chelsea at half-5. 5 minutes of added time. Matoma's on the ball, edge of the Tottenham box. Romero slides in, he's caught him. Or has he? No, play continues. Referee actually says that's okay. But Brighton have won it back on the right. Cross comes in. I thought Welbeck was going to throw himself at the diving header. Didn't go for it. Is it going to stay in play on the left? Vifa chases it down to the byline. He can't keep it in. It's going to be a goal kick for Tottenham. West Ham Palace, John Southall.
West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 2. We're into the third minute of 7 added on here. Graham Potter's in his technical area. How he needs an equaliser now. West Ham 1, Palace 2.
Burnley, Nottingham Forest. Julia Bold.
We're deep into additional time. It's still Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1, and it's been all Forest in the last 10 minutes. 4 substitutions, still no breakthrough. Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
4 minutes of added time remaining here at the Amex Stadium. The rain continues to fall. Another try at Ashton Gate in the World Cup semi-final. Maz Farouki.
Kelly Arbey has scored a second try for France in the left corner after stretching the England defence, and they have cut the deficit back to 2 points. France 12, England 14, 55 minutes played.
Brighton 2, Tottenham 2. Manchester United Chelsea on the way. Spence down the right-hand side to Kudus. Kudus inside his own half. Fires a hopeful ball into the Brighton half. It is volleyed away by Veltman. Drops on the halfway line. Milner gets onto it. Clever pass to his right. Finds the Paraguayan Diego Gomez. Good ball back into the midfield. Picking the right passes here. Brighton Ayari wide to Vifa, and then Spence steps in, makes the tackle. That'll be a throw-in for Brighton on the left. 3 minutes of this game remaining. Tottenham are 2-0 down. Minte and Ayari with the first half goals for Brighton. Richarlison getting one back just before half-time. The Van Hecker own goal has levelled it up. And Vifa's waiting to take the throw. Can't quite decide what to do. Takes a couple of paces back and uses the moisture on the pitch to skid one into the feet of Milner. Ball into the penalty area, straight into the arms of Vicario. Vicario runs out to the edge of the box. Late goal in League 2 at our featured game. Salford, Swindon, Mark Webber.
Yeah, Salford 3, Swindon 2 in front of the Salford fans. A ball in and a scrappy bobbled push in by Callum Cisse. Doesn't matter how it's scored. Salford 3, Swindon 2.
Tranmere have one back late. Walsall 3, Tranmere 2 in League 2. Notts County thumping Crawley today. Tyrese Hall has scored again. Notts County 4, Crawley 0. Michael Brown, we have got 2.5 minutes remaining at 2-2. This has been a cracking game of football, isn't it?
Really good from the start. Full credit to the players. They've all went after it. Good press. Managers driving the players. Will we see it?
Oh, touch around the corner from Archie Gray. Clever pass to find Kudus. Kudus up against Vifa. Back onto his left foot. Corner of the Brighton penalty area. Hits the shot. Big deflection! Just wide of the top corner. Verbruggen, I think, might have been worried for a second there. Almost changed the dive in mid-air. It's gone behind Tottenham corner.
We had a great view of it. The overlap was on. Created a bit of space for Kudus to come inside. And he was looking to try and cross it like he did before. But He's seen the space, tried to direct near post, deflected, goalkeeper scampering. Big moment now with this set piece.
Going to be another away win for Oldham in League 2. Bottom team Cheltenham 0, Oldham 3. Joe Quigley's got the late third. Referee just pauses the game here, just to build the drama. The rain continues to fall. Tottenham attacking away to our right. Lost a 2-0 lead here last season, lost 3-2. Today, 2-0 down. They've got it back to 2-2. Can they find the late winner? Just over a minute to play. 5 Live, BBC Sounds and the World Service. Here's Kudus with his left foot, delivered to the far post. Header is deflected up in the air. Mitoma is there. The rain is sweeping across the ground in the wind now. Richarlison is battling hard for Tottenham, holds off his man, takes the throw in quickly. Johnson chests it down. It gets away from him, goes behind for the goal kick. Flo Pollock has seen a fair few goals at Carrow Road this afternoon. Another one, Flo.
Yes, I have. It's not over yet. Norwich 2, Wrexham 3. Jovan McCammer filling in on the rebound and firing back in for Norwich. Can they get back into this? Norwich 2, Wrexham 3.
Walsall 4, Tranmere 2. 30 seconds to play here. Some Brighton fans in this stand on their way out. Kudus shielding the ball inside his own half. Udogie tries to find him again. Archie Gray's done well again for Tottenham. Chests it down, tries to find Kudus, couldn't control it. Vifa passes back to Dunk. This is very much the last chance saloon. Milner's lost it inside his own half, falls on the ball, picks it up with his hands, but the referee actually gives the free kick for the challenge on Milner. Milner gets up and takes it. Gomez nods it down. Then Johnson is there and powerfully heads the ball back to his goalkeeper Vicario.
Both are having a little go for it, aren't they? They're both, when the opportunity's there, Kudus didn't get away, and then Milner laid on the ball, got caught with Richarlison, tries to go quick in behind, he's ruined it, the referee. We wanted an ending.
We don't get the late winner. The full-time whistle blows. Fabian Hürzeler and Thomas Frank exchange a high five and a big hug. Their teams went right at it in the rain at the end of the game. Brighton 2-0 up in the first half. Minte and Ayari with the goals. Richarlison got one back just before half-time, and the Van Hecke own goal got Tottenham their equaliser. It is finished here. Brighton 2, Tottenham 2.